What's happening, everybody? Welcome on into Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Once again this week, I am Steve. Let's go round robin here real quick. I got Timmy T. Yes!
We'll talk about that later. But how you doing, everybody?
Break out the cheddar!
What up? I'm very excited to talk about. Very excited. Very excited.
Wonderful weekend of football.
Very excited.
It was almost a perfect weekend. It literally was almost a perfect weekend.
The rest of the games went so well, I forgot the Dolphins played this weekend.
Very good for you. All right, Timmy. Melo, what's going on with you down there, man?
Nothing. I feel like you guys don't smell that. It smells like there's something. I don't know, like a
cheesy.
No, like a weedy smell, kind of like something's baking. I don't know. I feel something's baking in the kitchen, in the oven.
It smells like
the oven there.
Something's wafting
yeast in here.
It's wafting.
Yeah, just nice, nice smell. Some big goods.
Active yeast. Yeast activated.
Active yeast for sure. All right, Ant, what's going on with you down there, bud?
I love this trend of obscure quarterbacks winning playoff games. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen, and I want more of it. If only the Dolphins quarterback was more obscure, then maybe we'd win a playoff game.
That's mainly because of the Miami fans that he's not obscure, though. They
Correct.
Him up.
Correct, because Miami fans are delusional, and we'll get into Dolphins Twitter and how fucking insane they are later.
I can't wait for that. I'm very excited about that, actually. All right, yeah. So we got last week's action to talk about Wild Card Weekend. What came out of that? Eagles, Cowboys. Dak. Dak. We get into what's happening this weekend in the divisional round. We had a basketball trade that we'll talk about also, and then we break out the wheel. We've talked a little bit in the last few weeks about quarterbacks that maybe not so great that won the Super Bowl. So this week we're gonna blind rank Super Bowl winning quarterbacks from start to finish. Wheel of Fortune. That's right, Terzio. All right, but before that all happens, let's get to our wonderfully produced, wonderfully edited opening video. Yes, we acknowledge the cheesy gods.
Acknowledge cheese. That's all I'm gonna say.
Cheesy gods. All right. We obviously this is a very heavy NFL portion of the year for this show. But before we get into the NFL action, we got a big trade that happened in the NBA yesterday. For some reason, I want to keep on. I'm bad with names. We all know this. We've seen me in action on this show. So every time I want to say this gentleman's name, I want to call him Pedro. Why do I want to call him Pedro? I don't know if it's a Pedro Pascal thing. I don't know what's happening up in here, but it's never. I don't know.
I mean, you got his first name right if you just drop the Pedro.
Normally, it's the last name to do you in.
Can you just pronounce it for the world one time so we can just get it on video, and just in case we want to use it later?
Pascal Siakam. Siakam as
his New York accent comes out hardcore right there.
Siakam. Sciatica.
I would say Isaac Yankum. Sounds the same.
Isaac Yankum. Oh my God. That's a throwback.
All right. Well, I sent it over to you, Melo. Toronto continues to clean house, go young, shed money. Siakam's in his last final year of his deal, which is a risk in and of itself, no?
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. The Raptors definitely are giving it in, phoning it in. So yes, they did trade away Pascal Siakam and a future second round pick, while additionally waiving Christian Koloko. I don't know if I said his last name wrong. And they
The reason why
received.
he was waived.
Yeah,
He's a longtime listener of the show. There, show more respect.
my apologies, Christian. So in the trade, they ended up receiving. Oh, that second round pick went to the Pelicans because they were the third team involved in this trade. The Pacers, though, were the ones that received Pascal Siakam, and they gave up Bruce Brown, Jordan Nwora, two 2024 first round picks, and a conditional 2026 first round pick. And the Pelicans guy, Kira Lewis. So essentially, the Pacers gave up absolutely nothing to get a stud on defense, which I think they very much needed because offensively, they'll put up points. Halliburton will put up those points for you, and they didn't have to give up any of their key pieces. They didn't have to give up Hield anything, and they got a guy in Siakam who I think is a big difference maker on defense. He can also score on offense and get you some rebounds, but I think defense is where they really needed it, and I think it makes that Pacers team a little bit more intriguing now that they're beating the Bucks without any defense, but now with this. Might just make them a slightly bit better than like a New York Knicks team.
We gotta get that jab in there.
Gotta
Always.
throw that troll in there. Gotta throw that troll in there.
I told you yesterday that they tried to get Siakam and OG in the same deal.
If you guys would have been able to pull that off, like that's a big time game changer, I think, for you guys.
Hell yeah. And what's your take on this?
I think it would have been a salary issue for the Knicks there. I think that's probably why that didn't, because it would essentially had to have included Randall, and I'm not.
No, the Pacers. The Pacers try to get them both in the same deal, not the Knicks.
Gotcha. Okay, I was like, yeah, I don't see how the Knicks would have done that. That would have been interesting. I think it's a great trade for Indiana. I agree with Melo. That didn't feel when I first heard 3 first-round picks, and I knew that Indiana had a couple of couple of extra first-round picks. I was like, oh, I wonder if they gave up some good ones. And then the list came out, and it's like Indiana's 2024. It's like, well, Indiana's pretty good, so that pick's gonna suck. And then it's the worst of like 3 of the best teams in the West 2024 first-round pick also. So it's like, oh, so 2 shitty first-round picks this year, got it. And then what was the other one? 2020? Is it Indiana's 2026
conditional?
It's not even a flat out. It's a conditional. What's the condition?
1 second.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I didn't hear that. I thought it was just a straight up 3 firsts and then the 2 players. The fact that it's a conditional extra first, I feel like Toronto got hosed.
Solidarity, Jersey. It's a solidarity against the we
were all Packers fans that
Cowgirls.
All of America rooting against America's team. Go figure.
Like you wouldn't take a giant piece of cheese out of the garbage if you found one, Terzio. Come on.
Solving the rap problem.
I found it in a dumpster in my job, and I Lysol the fuck out of it, wiped it down. Good. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I don't know if it means what this means. So it says a conditional draft pick is a stipulation attached to a traded player stating that if a certain predetermined conditions are met, the terms of the deal will be altered. So I'm not too sure if that means like if he signs with them, maybe they get it, or if he doesn't sign with them, they get it. NBA.com
extension.
Okay, so that's what it is. Yeah, see, so I guess if he doesn't sign, maybe.
Wait, I think what just happened there is that Anthony was questioning it. Melo took it as Anthony confirming it. Is that what happened?
No, I was not confirming it. I'm trying to confirm it. Give me one moment.
Okay, so let me
both of you were questioning it.
Let me weigh in now while you guys are doing your research, because I know I'm the least knowledgeable about today's NBA game. You guys are shrugging off 3 first-round picks like they're crap. Is that based on the NBA and the draft and how a first-round pick is not important, or is it just based on the picks that they're getting back? I'm assuming 3 first-round picks is a lot, but you guys you guys are waving it off like it's garbage, like it's nothing.
It depends on the draft class. Obviously, some drafts are much deeper than others, but in the NBA, so you have to think the NBA draft is only two rounds long, and usually 2/3 to 3/4 of that second round are players that will never step foot on an NBA court. So at the first round, it just depends on draft quality. But in my opinion, today's NBA is so star dependent. Like if you don't have a star player, yeah, you can have moderate success, but that you're never going to be a contender. So giving up those later first round picks, and I'm not trying to say that Siakam is a star, but Tyrese Halliburton is a star. And I think Pascal Siakam is a perfect player to play alongside of him. So while the cost sounds high in
Obi Toppin.
While the cost sounds high in 3 first round picks, I think the opportunity that they're gaining, especially if Siakam does end up resigning there, they could be opening up a small little title window here, a legit title window for them with the jumps that Tyrese Halliburton has made. So that's why I kind of brush off the 3 first round picks, because there's probably a 60 to 65% chance that of those 3 first round picks, none of them end up being relevant players. And by relevant, I mean like starters. I mean, they could be bench guys, but so that's why I kind of just brush it off.
Yeah, and I feel like the NBA draft is also very hit or miss. If it's not like the first, like any of the first 3 picks, I feel like after that, you're very hit or miss. Like, look, if you just look at last year's draft class, obviously it was Wemby. And then after that, I would say you guys can call, I don't know if you guys want to say I'm a homer or not, but I think the next best guy was the guy that he drafted, Jaquez. And he was drafted like the 15th, 13th pick. I forgot what pick they had.
Siakam?
He was no.
Jaquez, 16 or
16. So
shit, I don't remember.
It was something way later in the round.
Right
so everyone else is like, okay. So it's very hit or miss. And like Anthony said, it's 18. You have to have a star to make an impact in this game nowadays, just because there's so many teams with 2, 3 all-stars, where if you don't have a guy, then you can have all the draft picks in the world. You don't have Michael Jordan or LeBron James coming out of college or high school anymore.
Okay, good enough. Thank you.
If they were like picks that were projected to be like high lottery picks or even like top 5 picks, I would feel a lot differently. But I also think if they were those kind of picks, the trade costs wouldn't have been as high. It would have probably taken one of those type of picks as opposed to 3 laters. I can't find the details on that 2026 condition, by the way. I've looked at like 4 different sites and I don't see it anywhere. So I have no idea.
Maybe they haven't agreed to it yet. But I didn't even think about the draft lottery either. So like in the NFL, it's a little bit different because we know the Arizona Cardinals aren't going to be good, or the Bears are not going to be good. So they're going to end up with a high draft pick. Where here you can have the Hornets or the Raptors be really, really bad, but still not end up with a 1, 2, or even 3 overall pick. So it's
Knicks for the last 15 years.
Well, with the changes in the lottery system now, it actually caps how far teams can fall. They've gone. I want to say it's not like the NHL.
If you have the worst records, like 4. Right?
Yeah, I think if you have the worst record, I don't think you can. Actually, I think the worst record is 3. I think if you finish in the bottom 3, though, you can't fall out of the top 5 or something like that. I think only 2 teams can jump in, if I remember correctly.
These changes
so
now,
it prevents your drop. Yeah, they made a lot of changes to it because they've lessened the odds of those bottom teams.
The Knicks rule,
but they've also lessened the chance of them falling.
Yeah, as the Knicks are getting better, let's change the rule there. Hey, I suffered through a 17-win season. Here's pick 9. Here you go. Yeah. Enjoy that.
Yeah, and you get you draft what's his face, Gallinari.
The one thing that I wanted to touch on, though, that Melo had said, so if that condition is accurate,
this week in Steve's Knicks misery history, this is not it. Sorry,
I mean, if it was up to Melo, it would be all the time, exactly. No, what I was going to say is, I think that if that is the stipulation, that is the first time I can recall an NBA trade being tied, having a draft pick tied to a player's free agency status. So the NHL actually had that rule for a long time, where picks were allowed to be traded and you could put conditions on the picks based on if the player re-signed with the team he was traded to. Well, what ended up happening was the NHL Players Association fought back on it. They didn't, their wording of it was they didn't like the pressure it put on a player about re-signing with the team that he went to, or some sort of allegiance to the team that he was previously on, something along those lines. So they ended up abolishing that rule. You can no longer condition draft pick trades in the NHL to a player's free agency status. So that's why I thought if that is in fact the condition, it would be the first time I've heard of that in the NBA. And it's interesting because it's a rule that just got, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, got taken away in the NHL. So that's why I just wanted to touch on that.
Mm-hmm.
It was either that, or unless, because the other thing was the protected draft pick, which is if it's in the top 10 or something like that, they keep it.
I mean, unless Halliburton leaves, I can't see that pick being in the top 10 anytime soon.
No, yeah,
that kid's a freaking stud.
So
Wasn't he 12th overall? That's a perfect example. Halliburton, I think, was 11th or 12th pick in the draft. I mean, he wasn't even a top 10 projected pick that year, and he's a bona fide superstar. I think
which draft is the least important, you think? Put the four major sports in order of importance of draft to least importance of draft.
The NBA.
Is it last, you think, over baseball?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You said 4 major sports, and I immediately just went to hockey. For some reason, I put hockey ahead of baseball. No, baseball for sure.
Steve, what do you think?
The least important?
Yeah.
Baseball.
Yeah. That's why they have 40 rounds.
And you draft a guy, you never hear him again. Never hear him ever again.
So I would probably go baseball. Man, basketball. I think basketball and hockey would be close. I would put basketball. I don't know, man, because if you look at all your real superstars in hockey, they're all top 5 picks, every single one of them.
That's what I'm saying.
There's
the first two, but I think I'd put hockey over football as far as important draft picks.
I wouldn't, no. Only because because if you get the first pick in the NFL draft, you have a chance to draft a quarterback that literally changes the fate of your franchise for 10, 15, 20 years. So I would put football as the most important.
Quarterbacks.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's the most important position in team sports in general. Over any position in any sport is quarterback, in my opinion.
Left tackle.
Very important. Yes. I would argue they are the second or third most important player on a team. But we should. If you want to get,
you don't have good tackles. What do you got? A dead quarterback.
If you want to get really, really football freaky, we could
Daniel Jones.
Definitely do a position draft one day. I would be all for it.
That'll be fun.
All right. So
before I move on from that one, because so Halliburton was drafted 12 in the 2020 draft. But just so Timmy can see, so the number 1 overall pick was Anthony Edwards, who, I mean, I think we can all say is a star, right?
I would agree.
Yes.
After that,
number 2 was not a bad actor.
Not a bad actor. He was pretty good. Number 2 was James Wiseman, who no bueno. He's not even in the team that drafted him anymore. Then LaMelo, and then after that you got a bunch of guys. Then the New York Knicks at 8 drafted Opie Toppin, meaning they could have got Tyrese Halliburton, but it's the Knicks.
Yeah. Who else could have gotten Halliburton though? Who else could? Don't just.
So okay. So I mean, a lot of that to me. I'm just gonna start from 4. It could have been the Bulls, Cavaliers, Hawks, Pistons, Knicks, Wizards, Suns, Spurs.
Just looking at that draft, the picks in between LaMelo and Halliburton is really bad.
That's why I said after LaMelo, it's just a bunch of guys: Opie Toppin and then Halliburton.
Yeah, I mean, some of those guys, they're not bad bench players, goaltender. Raul, being that you're a Knights fan and they just won off of a goaltender that they picked up for a 5th round pick before the season as a roster fodder, and then he goes on a run and they win a Stanley Cup. I think you answered your own question.
And from that draft, I think in the first round after Halliburton, I'd probably say Tyrese Maxey, and he was drafted 21.
Yeah. Oh, easily Maxey. Easily.
Yeah.
Maxey.
So it's sometimes it's like a crapshoot.
Quickly's there at 25 too. That's a player I would have gone a lot higher if you redrafted it today.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Desmond Baines at 30. Yeah, I mean, there's that's the whole point. The NBA draft it's not as bad, obviously, as baseball, and it's not as bad as hockey when you get outside of the top 5 to 10 players.
But
because I do
we think baseball's just bad because they don't automatically go right into the league?
Yeah, they go to spring ball, winter ball, Arizona, Triple A,
low
double
A,
A.
high
That's what I'm
A,
saying. Like,
double A, single
is
A.
that shouldn't there be like a condition to that? Like, it's because they don't just go into the league.
But this is
Here,
why I find I know
most of you guys do.
I know you're gonna hate it, boss. But this is why I find Bryce Harper so fascinating. I remember him as a fucking 14-year-old in Sports Illustrated. Following fucking, he's like 14. He was in Sports Illustrated as a future star. You know how many future stars were in Sports Illustrated you never fucking heard of again? Bryce Harper, though, sticks out in my mind. I remember him with his dad, and they followed him all the way to the draft, all the way into the majors, all the way to, I was like, so he fascinates me as far as that goes. But how many people you really don't ever hear from again?
I got one more for you, Tim. You ready? Do you remember a guy? He was very highly touted, and I think it was his 8th grade years when I think it was ESPN did their first piece on him. His name is LeBron James.
I never heard of that guy.
But no, I do agree on the Harper one, though.
Isn't that the kid that's playing at USC right now?
That's his son, believe it or not. He had a kid. Multiple kids, actually.
Multiple.
Well, and in baseball, it's how like the progression of levels is so big.
Yeah,
I think. By the way, that's what I meant. I meant baseball. I didn't mean other sports. Other sports, they sports just will promote other sports to where like I said, especially hockey. You're in the NBA. You're in the NHL by 17.
Yeah.
Football. You're in there by 20, 21. All these other sports, you're in there young. Baseball is more. You might not make the majors till you're 24, 25. Recently, the last couple of years, it's been different. You're seeing 19-year-old kids coming up, 20-year-olds kids coming up. But usually 24, 25, 26, you make the majors.
I didn't mean for my sarcasm to take away from your point, because I do
completely
agree
I
with the
understand.
point you were making.
I get it. I'm just saying,
Right.
Other sports, you follow that. I remember LeBron too in the Sports Illustrated. I remember that whole thing. Oh, I don't care. Fuck this guy. Fuck him then. Fuck him now.
But man, I admire Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper, I admire. Thing, though, wasn't it Chris Sale? Well, didn't Chris Sale get drafted in June and was on his major league team by September? I think it was Chris Sale. I'm pretty sure it was Sale.
Oh, there's always exceptions to the rule, but like some guys.
Oh yeah, but it's so rare in baseball. So rare. Rare. Because even Harper, I think, was the following year.
The skills haven't been developed. Can't hit a curveball.
I don't understand that.
I'm just saying, baseball's the rarest.
Baseball,
baseball's the rarest. That you never see a 14-year-old kid in Sports Illustrated and like, this kid's going to be the future. Like, really, dude? He's 14. Hasn't even been laid yet. You can tell me he's going to be the next greatest home run hitter. I'm hearing his nuts.
His voice still sounds like a chipmunk. Are we sure?
Yeah. Really? Now, basketball, hockey at 14, you're like, oh, this kid's going to be a goddamn star. Football even maybe. But, that's what I'm saying. That's the difference between those sports.
Hockey is interesting with that because, like, and granted, it doesn't get as highly publicized because obviously the sport's just not as popular. But like Connor McDavid was having people talk about him when he was a young teenager. The same goes for Connor Bedard here recently. So it's interesting when hockey gets one of those players like that is very clear they're going to be a superstar, and the hype that they'll get around them and how far out it is. And I know I listened to a couple hockey podcasts and they talked about it actually with Bedard, and they say it starts when they're like 12, 13 because they're playing in like 15 U leagues and stuff like that, and they're just torching these kids that are 3 years older than them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then they get to like 15 and now they're playing in 18, 19 leagues and they're still torching these kids, and they're like, yeah, this kid's just going to be a fucking monster. Like there's no stopping him. Connor McDavid is like, he was putting up unbelievable numbers. I want to say as like a 16-year-old playing in like semi-pro Canadian leagues and shit. Like,
I remember. I'll say the one guy, you're gonna laugh at me too, who made me realize how young hockey players start. Eric Lindros, because he was in the very first NHL game on Sega, and then like 20 years later, I'm playing the game, going, how the fuck is Eric Lindros still in this game? I had to look him up. Holy shit, he started playing when he was 17. I was like, oh my God. I didn't even realize it. Like, he's playing that long.
But Bedard, last year, he turned 18 like a month or two before the season started.
Well, they're right different. You got Kappa, you got Kako, you got Life from there. They're all babies.
Kids.
They're babies.
I was just saying that a 17 or 18-year-old in the NHL can dominate the league.
Mm-hmm.
Not often, but yes, it has happened.
But it's rare for a 19-year-old kid to dominate. Dwight Gooden,
baseball.
And baseball. But
Bryce.
baseball, don't forget, also treats their players like
Bryce.
babies. Especially a pitcher. If you're a pitcher at 18, we got to massage your muscles and buttermilk. And,
well, now,
and do
but
this.
Dwight Gooden,
You can only throw 3 pitches today. You can only throw 3 pitches today.
We have to use peacock tears when we massage your arm to make sure
that didn't work for Strasburg.
I want you to throw 4 pitches today, no fastballs. Just throw 3 slow curves, and you're done for the day. Okay, thanks.
And don't put too much torque on them when you curve them. All right.
And you wonder why some guys don't make it.
You break your elbow. What's his name?
Literally break your elbow.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's the problem with pitchers today with the arm issues. I think the pitches. So obviously the pitches haven't changed. These pitches have been around for years. But I think the torque, the velocity, and the movement that you see from pitchers that they get today on these sliders and these curveballs, especially like for anyone who doesn't understand what I'm trying to say, we're getting into a baseball tutorial here tonight.
Absolutely.
I wish I had a ball sitting on my desk so I could demonstrate this. But when you go to throw a curveball, so you essentially have your hand on on the outside part of the ball, and when you go to throw it, you're actually bringing your arm sideways like that, and you're doing that rotation when you go to throw it. And if you do that, just stand there and do that, you can feel the movement in your elbow when you do that. Now imagine doing that as hard as you can while trying to locate it. And that's where I think the injuries really come
50
from.
times a game.
I mean, Tim Wakefield's out here throwing knuckle curveballs that look.
There is no strain on an elbow with that pitch with a knuckleball. None.
Zero
strain. But even I think that's why the screwball went away. So the way a screwball is thrown is basically the opposite of a slider. So the slider, if you're a right-handed pitcher, is going to break to the left. A screwball would actually break back to the right. So it involved going the opposite direction with the torque. And because of the way your arm is, that opposite torque is just not natural for the elbow. That's why players don't throw it anymore. I think Pedro was the last one to do it.
Let's see the guy break his arm. Go ahead.
Oh man.
High fastball about letter high. Here's the set. The 3-2 pitch, a wild pitch back to the screen. Scoring from third is Alisea. It's ball 4, and Saunders is hurt.
A wild
pitch because something in his arm snapped. Saunders down on the field, writhing in pain.
His arm snapped.
That ball flew out of his hand and went way wide of the plate to the backstop. Jamie Reed, the trainer, out there. John Flaherty is holding Tony Saunders' right fist. It is clenched. And the Devil Rays have another ugly scene here at Tropicana Field.
Amazed by obscure baseball. Is that Juan Gonzalez batting? Is that Juan Gonzalez?
He let that pitch go.
Yes.
That is Juan Gonzalez. Oh my goodness gracious! I feel like a little kid again here.
Nice is there.
Damn.
It's always an ugly scene in Tropicana Field. Come on now.
Yes.
There is no good.
That wasn't the one I was thinking about. There was another one play for Cleveland or the Angels. But even further back. But yeah.
John Lackey?
Jets. No.
I think that one's pretty bad because I think if you actually watch the replay, you can see the displacement of his elbow.
Yeah, Ant loves this stuff. You can see the snap in that ligament.
I mean, it's not pretty. Oh yeah, you guys probably love it because every time someone tears an Achilles, I'm like, oh, you see the calf pop? That's an Achilles.
Look at the pop, baby.
That's an Achilles. The calf pop.
And loves Achilles pops. Loves those Achilles.
Hey, but be honest, how many of those did I call like hours before they got announced?
Those are so rough.
Wait. I know we're going off on a fucking tangent here. Have you ever seen the video of the woman working out, and she puts the camera on and she pops her Achilles, and it's like a fucking gun going off. You hear boom, and she just falls on the floor. I gotta find it. Find it.
I didn't see that one, but Tariq Cohen a couple years back when he popped his Achilles was doing it while he was streaming his workout, and yes, you could hear it snap, and it sounded like a gunshot. It was insane. Matter of fact, the first time I watched it, I was looking in the background because I thought somebody dropped something. Jack Hughes is an 18-year-old. That's true. Did he say his Devils?
Yeah, I was about to say.
How many teams we got over here, Raul? Hold on now.
Oh, wait. Raul,
you're looking worse than me over here.
Raul he's a longtime Devils fan. I've known him for a long time. He's a Devils fan, but he has an affinity for the city in the desert, as where he'd like to go there to visit. So it's kind of like his second home.
It's like where he goes to go visit.
You know, his second city, I should say.
All right, we'll give it a pass for now. Just caught me off guard there.
Give it
We
a
were talking
pass.
about the Golden Knights, and now he's hyping up the Devils. Like,
Devils.
what's going on here?
So I just want to tie a big, nice ribbon on this conversation. The NBA trade deadline is February 8th or 9th. Okay, so
I got one more NBA
How did we
thing
get from
before
Pascal Siakam to baseball?
I just wanted
the
to
draft.
make sure everybody
The
knew
draft.
where we came from.
the draft tied it all in
That was
together.
wild. That was a 12 degrees of Kevin
Pitches
Bacon
breaking
right there.
arms.
So yeah, my final NBA thing is that this past weekend, Pat Riley and Dwayne Wade come in and they honored him, put his banner up there, and they unveiled that they will have a statue for Dwayne Wade in the front of what was formerly known as the American Airlines Arena, and it's coming later this year, 2024.
Go.
You're very excited about this.
I'm extremely excited because I want to know what pose they're gonna do. Like, are they gonna do like this is my house?
That's exactly what they should do.
It
Right?
has to
That's
be.
what I thought.
It has to be.
Maybe they do like the one where he throws the alley to
No.
LeBron.
It's
Like
got to
that.
be. This is my house. That's
I-
the patented D Wade one.
But in the future, I think they should throw a big three statue together there. Maybe the one who
I
started
can't
it
tell if you're
all.
being sarcastic or not.
Listen,
I'm not sure.
The 8, the 9, no.
Two
No,
more
play
than the
that
Knicks
long
have in the
enough.
last 50 years.
Hey! Don't.
I mean,
talk
we
about
could,
this.
we
The
could
same
Eddie
pain
Curry
is
can have
felt
a
in
statue
NBA.
too, right?
Hey,
We're gonna
throw
put
Eddie
Eddie
Curry
Curry up
there.
there in a Knicks jersey.
no, in a Heat jersey.
That'll be the only time you ever seen him in one.
True. Hey, can I just ask a question? You know, I don't mind it at all, you know. But is Dwayne Wade a forever paint my nails on? That's it. He's a nail painter now.
He is. I think after he retired is
Like-
when he started doing it. Like he started with the toes and now it's the fingernails.
I did not know about the toes, and I did not need to know about the toes.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
you wanna
because
hear-
there was a lot of videos out there. Some just zoomed in on his fingers and like what's happening right now. But all right, I just wanted to know if that's what it is. This is this disgusting thing that we're gonna.
Jesus.
Ugh.
It happens right around 25 seconds. Right around 25. Listen carefully.
She's not even doing anything crazy.
Listen.
Oh! Oh!
I just tore something. Ow. Ow.
It's like a balloon popping. One more time, right?
That was so awful. What?
One more time. We really need to hear it again.
One more time.
Oh!
Sounds like she like hit her foot on the
Yes.
little
Does
table.
anyone know like how thick your Achilles tendon is?
I don't want to know.
Oh, okay.
Aaron Rodgers
That's
knows.
why it's so loud. It's
Listen, if we keep talking about it, I'm going to pop my Achilles. So let's just not,
Very
let's
bad.
not
Yeah,
talk about it.
that's how I feel. Like my Achilles is so weak right now. It's so weak. All right. Okay, we're good now, right?
There's a lot of information on the Pascal Siakam trade.
That's right.
A lot of information.
Extremely.
That was
We went from that
A lot
to
of it.
fucking the draft to an Achilles tendon pop. Love it. That's why we're the best.
And now for Aaron Rodgers. No, what a segue.
that's how we roll. All right, so let's get into yes, Raul. Oh, I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm gonna have nightmares of that. All right, let's get into what happened in Wild Card Weekend. It's a lot of good stuff, you know, depending on your rooting interest. Browns, Texans. Texans took care of business. Hey, Texans took care of business. The Browns, we talk about their defense, right? The Browns, they led the league in points allowed at home at about 13-14. But on the road, they gave up the most points per game of any team at 29. I didn't know this last week, but it's all good. Before we go any further, I know we like to know the Timmy. We can't hear you.
Hello.
Yes, you're back.
Am I back? I said I went 1-3 last week, and it's the happiest 1-3 I ever went in my life.
You went 3-3, Timmy.
There was 6 games.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I lost.
I was doing the math. I was like, there was
you know what I
wait.
meant. I meant the 3 games that I lost is what I meant to say.
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
But did you guys see
I lost?
D'Amico Ryan call? I don't know who the player was. Call out like exactly what to do to pick off Flacco. He's like, he's gonna throw here. You just cut off, and you're gonna take the pick and go to the house.
D'Amico Ryans was a hell of a football player back in the day, and not even back in the day. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, right.
I think I read somewhere that if they, there's obviously big hills in front of them to climb here, but if they were to make it to the AFC Championship game, it would be the first ever rookie quarterback, rookie head coach ever in history to do that.
Well, it would also be the first 7th seed to ever do that, considering they were the first, or they were the. Oh no, they're not a 7th seed. Disregard. I'm thinking of the Packers.
No.
Never mind.
Packers one, yeah.
I'm thinking of the Packers. They were the 4th seed. My bad.
But it would be the first time the Texans get there.
Yeah.
I still think it's hilarious that the Texans won a playoff game before Deshaun Watson did.
That's awesome. That is phenomenal. I'm glad that you mentioned that.
The poetic justice in that is just top notch.
Fantastic. His team made it to the playoffs.
He's just not on it anymore.
With a 40-year-old overrated Super Bowl winning quarterback. All right, so real quick, I went 4-2. Anthony went 4-2, and then Dave and Tim both 3-3 last week.
I feel like I should get a half point for the Packers one. Like I said, I thought they, but that's okay.
We give you half a win. Just cut it right there.
For that.
Well, I tried the reverse mush with the Eagles and the Cowboys. That's why I picked them both to win. You're welcome.
There you go.
Yeah, I should have been 4-2, but the refs had something to do with one of these games. So.
Stop it!
Which game are you talking? Wait, which game are you talking about? What game is he talking about? Seriously,
there's only one game that refs.
Nothing like that happened over this weekend.
Which team has he been against for weeks now? Come on, you know which team?
There's only one game. That's the only game that the refs were so involved that they no pass interference, no targeting. Poor Tyler Higbee over there got his brains blown out on that. Even Stafford went up to him was like,
"You're his ACL, Tyler Higbee."
Can we talk about that hit real quick, just for a brief second? I've watched that replay like 12 times. Does nobody want to talk about the fact that this dude's cleat sticks in the fucking turf, and that's probably why he tore his ACL?
Turf situation.
Watch it. When he gets hit, his foot is stuck. Like that's why he tore his ACL.
It was a dirty hit.
We don't condone negative talk about the referees on this show. Melo. Ever. Moving right along. And we'll talk more about the Texans as we get into our divisional preview. The Saturday night game, which brought a ton of anxiety throughout the week.
Hold on.
Oh no.
He's getting the toaster.
No, there's you can't really see it. There's a dolphin.
Can't do this live on air
back there. Sorry.
Oh, I did see it. Okay.
I thought it was a magnet. It's actually a sticker, so it's not going to come off as easy as I thought. So I thought I was going to be able just to rip it off, but no.
But do you have a steel-plated room? Is that like a panic room in there that it's sticking the magnet?
Maybe. You didn't hear me close the vault door when we started recording?
That's great signal. That's why it sounds so good in there.
Exactly.
All right, so the Dolphins. And you get angry here. Go ahead.
I don't have to get angry. It's exactly what I told you was going to happen. I told you can't get upset about something you're expecting to happen. What I do get upset about, though, is these delusional ass Dolphins fans. I don't know how anyone could watch anything this man did this year, and even the good stuff he did this year, and be like, "Yeah, I need to pay him $50+ million a year." Can't do it. Your
How do you
prediction can't.
feel?
Yeah,
Can't
it's
do it.
exactly what
I'm
I
gonna
said
do it.
was going to happen. As soon as the Chiefs went up in the game, I'm like, well, it's been fun, guys. I knew it was over.
And how do you feel about him afterwards? Like he didn't really look. Again, you can tell me if I'm wrong. He really didn't look like the loss affected him. Like he was just happy to be there, and then he goes to Mahomes and he asked for like the jersey. Like, do you in particular, are you like okay with that? Does it
Mahomes should have
bother
told him
you?
to fuck off. Mahomes should have been like, "You ain't getting shit from me, kid."
Well, I mean, he basically did. He said, "Oh, I already promised it to someone else, but I'll send you one later."
Yeah, that would have been a great excuse. No,
It was more like, sorry, kid, you don't get one.
I want him to be good. I loved him at Alabama. I really did. I really thought he was going to be the next like big thing at quarterback. I'll take my L on that one. Yeah, it's just everything's one read. If it's not the first read, you see it. Like as soon as that first read's not there, man, oh, the feet get happy and he don't know what to do and he's bouncing around and it's like, and then you go like I think I said this, what was it, 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago after watching CJ Stroud just go out there and just make ridiculous play after ridiculous play. Like CJ Stroud's first 2 reads aren't open and he's got a defender breathing down his back. He slides around, maneuvers his way around, makes a great throw. That and I think we have 2 wins against teams above 500 over the last like 3 seasons, so or 2 seasons, whatever it is. And one of those wins is against the Bills last year, the Cowboys this year. I can't remember who the other one was.
I think that's it.
No, there's
Unless
one more.
The Ravens last year, maybe.
There you go. The Ravens. No, they weren't over 500 last year, were they?
Well, Lamar was still
Maybe.
Like the
I don't know.
4th game.
Yeah, it was early in the season. I think it was the 3rd game. But no, I just they're gonna pay him. I know they're gonna pay him. What I'm hoping for right now, and this sounds fucking gross to say, is it's something like what the Daniel Jones contract is.
I was exactly where I was going.
Is it a smaller quarterback deal compared to what the market value is that has you an out within 2 years? Something so because if you tie yourself to him for 3, 4, 5 years, then that means that you're past the point of Tyreek Hill being a Dolphin. You're on Jalen Waddle's 2nd contract. Mike McDaniel will not still be the head coach by the end of that. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I would almost be willing to bet on it that would be true. You're tying everything to him, and I know McDaniels has shown him a lot of or has said that he has a lot of faith in him and everything like that. And hey, I hope his faith comes to fruition because he's obviously going to be our quarterback next year. But man, I don't see it. I felt like at Alabama, the poise and the ability to read and the ability to move. I don't know if that hip injury just sapped away that athleticism, but my God, he looks like he's wearing fucking concrete shoes when he's moving around in the pocket.
Yeah,
that was a major injury. That wasn't just like a little injury. That was a major injury. I think fucked him. I really do.
Yeah, because he did have some. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say he was like a scrambling quarterback, but God, he was way more athletic in the pocket than he is now. It's fucking terrifying to watch when.
So when the Dolphins pick Tua and assume the risk of whatever the injury was, the thought we talked about it here. The thought was, or not, maybe not on this show, but the thought was the Dolphins bypass the risk on Drew Brees, and we're like, all right, let's not have this happen again. All doctors have cleared him. He's good. He'll bounce back. So let's take that risk now that we didn't do that then, which could have brought us to the promised land. And this is why they were like, all right, let's do it. Not in those exact words, but a thought process.
So I get it, and like I said, I definitely had him ahead of Herbert coming out, which I think speaks a lot to Oregon's coaching staff at the time, because Justin Herbert at Oregon did not look anything like Justin Herbert has looked in the NFL. I know Melo doesn't like to hear that, but Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, I wasn't a Herbert believer coming out, and then he gets in the league, and I want to say it was like his first game. He's sitting here throwing 50-yard laser beams over defenders' heads and stuff, and it's like, where the fuck was this at Oregon? Like, why? How? Where did it come from? But it is what it is. I mean, it sucks that he's not what we hoped he was, and I mean, I know the Dolphins Twitter. That's the stuff that gets me mad. These guys are like, you gotta pay him. This is the best quarterback season we've had in 30 years. Like that doesn't mean anything. Like just because like
Chad Pennington had a good year.
Steve will appreciate this one. Steve will appreciate this one. This was one of Raphael's favorite quotes. That's like picking the best piece of shit in the toilet. Like it's not. And granted, he had a better season than that, but it's not. He's not that guy. Like he is not a quarterback that can do what those elite quarterbacks can do. You cannot pay him like them. If he's going to take a less money and you pay him in like that 40 to 45 range, I still don't like it, but it's slightly more palatable, I guess. I don't know what they do. I don't have any faith in Chris Greer either. So it's going to be. This was our hope season, and like in true Dolphins fashion, we fucking blew it. So back to 30 years of nonsense now.
Played at negative degree weather, like
because he played great the 3 weeks.
But
he played great the 3 weeks prior to that. That would have prevented us from playing in negative degree weather in good weather games.
All you had to do was beat Buffalo. All you had to do was
not fucking lose to Tennessee.
The Tennessee game.
I mean, but look who we went up against. So come on now.
The Titans game is everything. You win the Titans game, you win the division. You're at home last week playing Buffalo, whoever. Like, who knows how the rest of the season plays out? Because
Buffalo was done. Buffalo was dead, buried.
They had a 4% chance at what was it, like 6-6 to make the playoffs.
Now they're hosting the Chiefs.
They fire a coordinator, and all of a sudden, everything clicked.
Boom. Done.
That's such a terrible analogy, though. Their offensive numbers have been worse since they made that move, and I'm not even kidding.
But for some reason,
I wish I was.
It was a spark. It sparked something.
They had some bad. They had some bad luck stuff early in the season. But statistically speaking, they have been a worse team than they were early in the season when they were sucking. So them going on this streak, like, it's weird because you don't want to pick against them because Josh Allen is that fucking good. But Josh Allen can also have just like 5 brain farts in a row and completely blow the game for them. But then turn around and make 6 plays that you've never seen before in your life and win the game. So that's the most erratic team I've ever seen. Like, I have no idea.
Who that reminds me of, though? It reminds me of another quarterback from a few years back who regular season people would be like, oh, I don't trust him in the playoffs because he's probably going to throw an interception. Or even though he might do a good one, he might just throw like 4 interceptions, all returned for touchdowns. And then come playoff time, led a team to a Super Bowl twice.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Eli Manning.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't put them in the same category, but okay.
All right. Well, all right.
I'm not trying to slander anybody. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Because we're on the Dolphins, reel us back in. I have a question, but I'm going to ask it not of Anthony. I'm going to ask it of Timmy.
Oh, Jesus.
Timmy, you're a Dolphin fan. You are assuming the role of Dolphin fan. I'm sorry.
All right, guys.
Okay, so you got Tua. You're a big star receiver. Tyreek Hill just went through, and played through, and also not played through several injuries this year. About to turn 30. Where's your confidence level in your receiving core with a Cheetah that's now 30? And I'm not saying don't attack me out there. I'm not saying that he's going to regress and be a shitty wide receiver. But as a fan, how confident are you in your number one wide receiver who went through these injuries, now turning 30, and who the hell knows what you got with Tua?
How confident am I in Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, in that Tua to Tyreek Hill connection.
Oh, I'm still confident. That dude is a fucking monster. That dude is a freak in nature. He has brain farts every now and then, but other than that, I mean, come on. Yeah, he's not going to regress to a number 3 receiver next year. That shit's just not happening. If it happens that quickly, then something really bad happened in the offseason to make him regress that much. But I don't know if I trust Tua with him. I mean, and anyone trusting Tua right now? No. But like you say, Andy might say, you might have to give him
a lot of Dolphin fans love him.
Or you might have to give him his money, this year, but give him the Daniel Jones clause. All right, we're going to give you a 3-year deal, but we can get out of it after this year.
See what we started?
You prove you can win, we'll keep you. You don't. That's the worst
The
part. But as
anti-poison
far as
pill.
Tyreek Hill goes, I would take him in a heartbeat. Heartbeat if they want to get rid of him. I'll take
Melo,
him.
everybody
going
wants to give their quarterback the Daniel Jones deal now.
We're trendsetters.
It's honestly, and we said this at the time, though.
Congratulations.
We said this at the time, though. It's a worth it deal for the risk. If it doesn't work, it's 2 years. You're going to suck anyway if the quarterback's not good. So it doesn't matter that you're spending $40 million on him. If it does work out, you now have a top 10 quarterback at well below market value. It's a
problem.
You make that deal every day. It's not a bad deal.
But that's the part you're missing, Dave. $40 million. As much as I didn't want him to get that much money, it's not a lot of money considering what these guys are going to start signing for pretty soon.
It's already happened. He's down to like 13th in quarterback pay now.
Yeah, it's not a lot of money. It's fucking mere bag of shells now. Only
Wish somebody would toss a bag of shells at me.
the only reason it's really that bad is because there's a salary cap. That's the only reason technically, it could really hurt a team. But other than that, it's worth the risk. He'll be gone. This is his last year. He might not even play considering what we do in the offseason. Might be a $40 million backup this year, and then you cut his ass.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We shall see how it goes.
12th,
all right.
12th highest paid quarterback.
Or he fucking takes it to a Super Bowl. You never know.
But when he signed, he wasn't 12. That obviously he's going to move down, but he wasn't 12 when he signed.
Yeah, but they knew the market was going to be
9th. He was 9th.
He should not be anywhere near any top 10 list.
Hey, and guess what? After this offseason, he's going to drop even lower.
Yeah.
With these other guys,
he's going to be
the
dropped
Tua
off
extension,
the team.
The Kirk Cousins deal will both be more money than what Daniel Jones makes. As much as I don't want to say that, it's true.
Kirk Cousins is going to get more.
He'll get like a 3-year, $135 million deal. That's $45 a year. I would almost bank money on that.
I don't know.
He's a quality quarterback on the open market. He's 100% going to get that.
Who just tore an Achilles? So we're okay with him tearing Achilles and pain, but Aaron Rodgers, who's a 4-time MVP, tears his.
You don't have to fucking listen to Kirk Cousins talk about random nonsense for the rest of the goddamn season.
How old is Cousins?
He's younger than Rodgers. I know that.
I know.
Cousins is a God-fearing, sweater-wearing man. Rodgers is a blasphemous, I live in a cave kind of guy. We don't need that stuff.
Kirk Cousins is 5 years younger than Aaron Rodgers.
We'll get to Aaron.
And I'll still take a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers over a 35-year-old Kirk Cousins.
We may need to cover that next week. QB carousel.
QB carousel. Those are always fun times. Steelers, Bills. Bills took care of business here. Then what's his name got pissed off in the press conference when they asked him about his contract. Storms out. Tomlin, did you see him today? I'm in a better mood today. He said.
It is true though. Like you're gonna ask the guy that after what they did, talk about the game. Don't talk about your contract. He ain't gonna talk about that shit.
Immediately. Hey, you retiring? Fuck, man.
Can I say something about the Bills too? Why the Bills frighten me? The Bills are the definition of a momentum team. One bad thing happens, and they seem to like fucking fall apart. Mm-hmm. So when he missed that field goal, and they start chipping away, I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna blow this fucking game because of the one. Which, by the way, they shouldn't have tried that field goal anyway. I would have fucking smacked McDermott in his fucking head after they tried that field goal. But
they also lost the punter. That was the first domino.
Oh my god!
I was like, here we go with this shit. They're gonna fucking lose this game because of a stupid choice. It's like they seemed. And then finally, Josh Allen was like, all right, enough of this bullshit. I'm gonna run 52 yards and take over.
That play was insane
and do all this stuff.
Fake slide. But by the way, awesome scene. Just the pan out of the crowd on the touchdown with the snowballs going all over the place. It's great.
Just and Pickens getting hit by snowballs trying to catch the ball. Did you hear? Did you hear Tony Romo? Oh, by the way, I wrote that down. I think Tony Romo had two of my favorite moments in the game. One was when they threw the snowballs at Pickens. First, he laughed. He's like, "Oh, but we shouldn't do that." Like he had to immediately stop and say, "No, bad Buffalo." We can. The second one. I don't know if you guys heard this. I heard it and I couldn't. I rewound it 3 times. He got so tongue-tied and so nervous and flustered about Martin Luther King Day. Did you hear that?
Oh
What?
no.
Because Jim
No.
Nantz is like, yeah, it's Martin Luther King Day. Yeah, happy Martin Luther King Day, everybody. And he's like, yes, it's a great day. There's a guy who should have his own day.
Here's a
And,
guy.
and everything was
God.
silent for 30 seconds. Jim Nantz is
So
like,
awkward.
what the fuck are you going to... And I was going to go, did you hear him? Did you hear? I routed it. Did you hear this idiot? He got all flustered because of Martin Luther King Day. Had me rolling. He's like, yeah, there's a guy who should have a day. Then silence. And Jim Nantz probably saying,
Momo.
what are you doing, dude? What are you doing?
The producers
snap
were
out of it.
screaming in his ear, "Shut the fuck up, Tony!"
You sound like a racist. Shut up.
Tony, don't
like
say another
white.
fucking word. Stop it.
Can we get to one of my favorite games of the week? Packers and Cowboys.
Woo!
Packers just took it to him right from the get-go. I think Jordan Love had the third highest PFF rating. Oh man, what a great start to the Sunday, huh? How could it get any better than that?
The next day,
The Cowboys are gone,
it was
but
Monday night.
well, that capped off. That was fantastic. So good, man. Couldn't have written a better script for this weekend. Yeah, if we work for the NFL ourselves.
Well,
Was I the only person who knew the game was over when the Packers opened the game with a score and then the Cowboys immediately gave them the ball back? I'm like, oh my God, this game's fucking over already. Like, holy cow.
How my God, Dak Prescott. It's so good. This was typical Cowboys season, right? Rah 12 whatever. How many wins do they have? 13 wins? 12 wins?
12 and 5.
Something like that.
12. So three straight
undefeated at
years of
home.
12 wins.
16 wins at
They're-
home straight.
They're at home. They dominate at home. And which team, let you take a wild guess, which is the only team that lost at home this weekend? The great at-home playing Cowboys.
That's not even the best stat I heard this week. The best stat I heard this week, by far, the Packers have more playoff wins in AT&T Stadium than the fucking Cowboys do.
Mhm.
That is the greatest thing I've ever heard. The Packers have more playoff wins in the Cowboys home stadium.
I'll learn it.
Oh, you heard
That's
it? Thank you,
awesome.
Ro. I'm glad I'm not the only one who
Thank
heard
you,
that.
Rogers.
It was great.
For one of those 2 wins.
You just
And
again.
it's only 2. It's not like it's a
I-
great high number. It's 2.
I wish Tony
literally 2.
Romo. I wish Tony Romo got the Cowboy game just because Prescott is just. Excuse me for saying it, but it's true. He's just a black Tony Romo. Great
No.
until the game is on the line, and then he fucking fumbles or does this or does that, throws an interception. That's it. That's all he is.
Here we
Garbage.
go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
There we go. Yeah, you're done
And
now.
then Jordan Love did it at the end.
Yeah,
The victory
Jordan Love
formation. Here we go.
There's
But he didn't do it. He gave it the base. He just like, here we go.
I think it's funny because it's actually a more common cadence than I think people realize. But the fact that it happened at the end of the game was just kind of comical.
It was great.
It was outstanding.
Uh,
All I did Monday was watch
I mean, what?
Skip Bayless and all them cry. That's all I did over and over again. It was the greatest day of my life.
Who did Skip Bayless blame it on?
The coaching. He blamed it on the
Which?
coaching.
Interesting segue.
But also Prescott too.
Yeah.
Oh, he did? Wow.
Mhm.
Segue and coaching stuff. One coach that we won't talk about, vacancy we won't talk about, is the Cowboys. As with Bill Belichick out there, with these other guys, Harbaugh out there, the vote of confidence goes to Mike McCarthy, and the 3 straight year winning 12 regular season game winning Cowboys out again in the first round out, and here's your vote of confidence, baby. How
And Melo will be happy to
Laughable,
hear this, but he won one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. He can only win one. He ain't gonna win one with fucking Dak Prescott.
No
He
way.
ain't gonna win one. Same
Yeah,
thing
because he's not
happening.
Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly.
I
It's
would-
true. I'm not
I would-
arguing you that.
I would argue that because of Mike McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have more Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it.
I would really argue that. I'm not even not to throw positive Aaron Rodgers. I know we give Melo a hard time about it. I was a massive Aaron Rodgers fan up until about 4 years ago when he started just running his mouth about nonsense all the time.
He went crazy. I said, I hope Jordan Love doesn't go nuts in a few years. Favre is a fucking criminal. Rodgers is a lunatic. It's like, what's going on in Green Bay?
Can we talk about the fact though?
But wait, shows
That's
have
a sacrifice
Favre on
for
as a
a
guest.
good quarterback.
I guess.
That's a sacrifice. They have to go crazy or something has to happen for them to bring success to Green Bay.
But can we talk about the fact on how good he looked? Some of
Jordan
the
Love?
plays he was making,
Ridiculous.
Look great.
They got another one. Are you fucking kidding me? Like 50 years straight of just great quarterbacks? Is this really about to happen?
Yep.
Did I share that with you? Did I share the tweet about how the Jets are already preparing their 2040 offer for Jordan Love?
Yeah, but they cracked the code. They found the formula. They'll draft their next quarterback 2 years from now and just have him sit behind Love for the next 5-10
Dude,
years.
Might be
Very
a little
sneaky,
longer
sir.
than 2 years.
And then bring him out. And then just bring him out when he's ready.
The next time, just remember, the next time they
And in
draft
the first
if you
round.
play if the next time that the Packers draft the first round quarterback, I don't care what you think of that quarterback, he's going to be good. Just
He's
flat
gonna
out,
be
he's
good.
going to be good.
It's like, well, Love is only
We'll see.
29. You still got a couple years left. Yeah, but they already got their next guy lined up and ready to go. He'll be good to go in a couple years. Fucking step in and win the Super Bowl.
It's automated
looks-
at this
He
point.
looks
Crazy.
so good. How about the defense though? The defense
Well,
that
and-
we've been ranking on for weeks looked great.
And
Yeah,
Dobbs was
Alexander
the
with the spring
highest rated player. He got the highest rating out of any player during the week, and Love was third. So
Hey,
no wonder
hey,
why they beat the Cowboys.
Remember when Aaron Rodgers was complaining about them not having enough weapons? It
Yeah.
certainly looks like they have enough weapons now. Their leading receiver this year was Jaden Reed, right? Jaden Reed had no catch, or what was it? One catch for 8
One
yards
catch.
on Sunday.
He had
One
one
catch
catch
for
in the last quarter or some shit like that.
Yeah, and it was when the game was over. Yeah, they got plenty of weapons. And they're going to be really good for a while. They got some things to figure out defensively, but they'll be fine.
Now, in a few minutes, when we get to our picks, we're gonna see if we think that Jordan Love can do something that Aaron Rodgers could not do.
Oh man.
Cliffhanger. What? All right. Next game up was Rams at the Lions. Go ahead, Melo.
Let Melo open up with
Angry-
this one.
Well, wait, where'd he go? What?
He no-showed like the Rams in crunch time.
Oh, you mean when the refs weren't, giving them any calls? No hold.
Last time I checked, the Rams scored what?
Puka was getting his brains knocked out as well, and no, even the
It's
refs
called-
tried to take him out at one point.
It's called
No,
defense.
he had gotten checked, he got cleared, and the refs were still like, wait. I've never seen that happen. Wait, we got to stop. We got to stop the game. Puka, you got to go to the sideline. And then they'd be like, wait, no, he got checked. Like, come on. When have we ever seen that happen? Never.
So
That someone's
explain to me.
inside the game and the refs have to come stop it.
Explain to me how the
Ridiculous.
spotter didn't pull
Don't tell
Matthew
me the refs were
Stafford
not
from the
involved.
game.
Yeah.
Explain to me how the
that
spotter
was-
didn't pull
that
Matthew Stafford from the game.
How did Matthew Stafford
That's
continue
rough.
to play after that? He did the old on the floor.
He was
His
out. He was
eyes-
gone. He was
yeah.
on Mars.
He was
for a
up
moment.
his
Maybe
hand was
because-
like this. His eyes were rolling. Oh,
Someone
he's fine.
stepped on him. Maybe that's why
Fine.
he's like in pain. Like I lost, my breath here when I got hit late and no call. I don't see any flag out
How
anywhere.
did he get hit late? He was standing up. What are
Just because you
talking
picked
about?
them 3 weeks ago, you're upset. That's because you picked them 3 weeks ago. That's the only reason you're
No.
upset.
Melo's been on a Lion hate train for a long time now.
Since
I
the
think
season
the-
started.
the
Literally
season
the whole
started.
season. Week 1, he was mad because I changed my pick to the Lions when I told him the Lions were going to win week 1. It's literally been since then.
Jared Goof still didn't look
Troop,
that
baby.
great.
What a
They-
game!
That's the one thing we never talked about.
Wait for the Bucks to expose him.
But that's the one thing we never talked about. Everyone talked about Stafford going back. Goff had more to play for. Goff's the one that got fucking traded after taking that team to a Super Bowl. He had more motivation than
He
Stafford.
didn't take him. The defense took him. And he didn't even show up to the Super Bowl. What did he do? Have like 7 complete passes? He's trash.
He had 7 completed passes in the Super Bowl. What do you do before that? What do you do before that? How many passes did he complete in the conference championship game? Oh, Melo's
I'm
camera
sorry,
stopped
but
working there for a
my
second.
internet's
Yeah,
going in and out. So like you
yeah,
guys are frozen
interesting.
for me.
Interesting. He had a bad Super Bowl, no doubt, but
You
don't
guys are
act like
frozen
he
for me
wasn't
right
part
now.
of getting them there.
Barely. That's like, what's this guy from the Bears too? Got him to a Super Bowl. Kyle Orton?
No,
Oh no, Rex Grossman. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Rex Grossman.
Really?
That one you can credit to the
Yeah.
defense when they had like
Spoiler
a
alert
top
for
10
what's coming up.
all-time defense.
Don't say barely, because I'm gonna have to quote Vin Diesel. You don't want me to quote Vin Diesel. I'm not saying it. I'm not gonna say it. Come on, Melo. Just admit. Detroit, baby. You got to ride that lion.
Wait.
I will admit
Wait.
that
He didn't get them to the
Rams
Super
could
Bowl.
not
He
stop
didn't.
them.
He didn't drive them on a game tying drive to end regulation against the Saints, and then on a game winning drive in overtime to beat the Saints. That was the defense that did those things.
You broke up.
Got it. 10-4.
You broke up.
I wish I'm kidding, but you guys keep like freezing on me, and then I hear like game time, and then I can't hear
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah, exactly. Goof Troop, baby.
It's funny how that happened to me. Start talking about Detroit.
Can we open next week's episode with the Goof Troop theme song
Goof Troop.
after the Lions punch their ticket to the NFC title game?
I just to run down the top QBR for last week: Jordan Love, C.J. Stroud, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Matt Stafford in a losing effort. Jared Goff is 6. Joe Flacco. By the way, I forgot to mention one site called one of the losers for this wildcard weekend. Joe Flacco's YOLO passes.
The real Flacco finally stood up like we know he would.
So Jared Goff has 5 incompletions, an 82% completion percentage, throws for just under 300 yards and a touchdown, and somehow he was 6th in QBR on the week. Just verifying what you're saying,
because
that seems wild.
Yes.
5 incompletions, so horrible.
Yes.
If only.
And then
standing at that podium holding the Lombardi Trophy.
Wait, hang on. I got a good question for Melo. Melo, would you trade Daniel Jones for Jared Goff right now?
For who?
Daniel Jones for Jared Goff right now. Thank you. All right,
No.
next question.
wait,
Defense rush.
well,
I wouldn't.
Melo, you got to stand by what you said. You got to stand by what you said. Anybody but Jones, anybody but Daniel Jones. You once said. So you're giving up. We're getting goof.
Give me the goof I know, then the goof I don't know.
Wait, but interestingly enough, so Joe Flacco 7th, Dak Prescott 8th, Baker Mayfield was 9th in QBR this week. Shocking, right?
Yeah. That just doesn't
Baker
seem
Mayfield
right.
was what? Say that again.
9th
9.
in QBR.
Okay.
That's it. All right. So Melo's continuing down the fraudulent Lions path. As we head into the divisional round Monday night.
Hold
Listen.
on. Can I spit out a stat real quick?
Yes, please.
Since Jared Goff was drafted, since he came into the league, Jared Goff is 4-3 in the playoffs. In that same amount of time, Aaron Rodgers is 4-4.
Yeesh.
Just sharing information. Thank you.
You broke up again. I couldn't hear what the record was. So
That's okay. It's all on record.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch the footage.
At 109. 109. Listen, the one time I rooted for Tom Brady, he failed me.
Exactly.
The one time I rooted for Baker Mayfield, he pulled through and beat the bro, guys. The Eagles look so trash. Like they became Literally, now that they're out of the playoffs in the first round, they became the Steelers from several years ago. It's a Pennsylvania thing.
Melo, you hear me, Melo? You got me? 1, 2, 1, 2. You got me? Hello.
I can hear you now.
I'm not taking anything away from the Yeast. Don't attack me. Don't attack me. I'm not taking anything away from what he did in the Tampa Bay game. But I mean, come on. The Eagles are fucking fugazi. We finally know the way they ended that season. They were just shit all year. They were fugazi. They were fake. Like you said, they were the Steelers. They just looked for the first half. For some reason they dominated. Then all of a sudden people figured them out. Even their little fucking push tush, whatever that was called, stopped working after a while. So the hell with them. I'm glad they did.
I think that there's teams that did not make the playoffs that could have put up more of a fight against the Bucs than what the Eagles did.
Hells yeah.
They were also missing their number one receiver, guys. Come on now.
That doesn't mean nothing. He don't play defense.
Of course it does. A.J. Brown's a big presence on their offense.
That secondary is fugazi. They are horrible.
Hold on.
Yeah, so Mayfield, 22 of 36, 61%, 337 yards. The Eagles were 10-1 and collapsed. That's right, Raul. We like it. What's going on, Melo?
Okay, no, I'm just trying to see if I'm back.
You're good.
I think you got to give the Bucs a little more credit. Baker looked really, really good. And
I'm giving them credit.
Out there, Baker.
No, yeah. I'm not taking anything away from them.
And
he only had a higher QBR than
out the tush push.
Tua, Jalen Hurts, and Mason Rudolph.
He also had the worst air yards ratio of any quarterback that played this weekend. Just throwing that out there.
5.9 yards.
Fucking tush push. I'm so tired of that shit.
Tua had a QBR of 15.8.
He was fucking terrible. Why are we surprised by this? Like,
I just got
I'm shocked it was that high. I thought that shit was gonna be single digits. He was fucking horrible. He made one. I can't even say he made a good play. Tyreek made a good play on the one ball that they scored on. They didn't do jack shit the rest of the game. The Chiefs' offense wasn't even that good in this game, and they got blown the fuck out. Like, it wasn't close.
All right. So for us,
Jordan Love and Jared Goff had the highest air yards this weekend. Just saying.
For 3/4 of this crew, and Anthony joins us with hating these teams. Very good. Cowboys, Eagles, gone, and up and out of here. So Wild Card Weekend is in the books. Let's go, Anthony. You want to cover some of these coaching updates from this week?
Yes.
It's the weirdest thing to read in the world, to read that Bill Belichick is getting a second interview. What more do you need to know about Bill Belichick?
In Atlanta, right? In Atlanta?
Yeah.
So this is I'm we're going to start with this one because there's actually a lot of interesting rumors and things swirling around about this one. So it was announced, I want to say earlier today or late yesterday, that he was going to get a second interview in Atlanta. And basically what was said with that was that he was not expected to leave that interview without being named the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Bold statement, guys, but he left that interview and he is not the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons yet. The reason that is interesting is because a final determination on Nick Sirianni in Philadelphia has not been made yet. Howie Roseman loves Bill Belichick. It was part of the reason that they brought in Matt Patricia this season, because of his affinity for Bill Belichick. Not that Matt Patricia thing worked out for them, but he loves Bill Belichick. I think now this is also to follow up with the Nick Sirianni thing. Nick Sirianni has had his exit interview in Philly pushed back 2 days in a row now. It was supposed to be yesterday. It got pushed to today. It got pushed today to tomorrow. I think Philly is a dark horse here to get Bill Belichick. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't have concrete evidence behind it, but if you follow the breadcrumbs, it seems like something's up there. That he left that second Atlanta interview
on that.
that the fact that he left that second Atlanta interview without a contract is very intriguing to me. It makes me think he's got another situation he's more interested in. Because it doesn't seem like it's going to be the Chargers for him. And Washington doesn't seem like they're interested. So I think for Bill, it's Atlanta or if someone sneaks in there right now. So
but Sirianni's still the coach as of right now.
As of this second, yes, Nick Sirianni is still employed by the Philadelphia Eagles as their head coach.
Isn't that a form of like tampering when you can say, listen,
No,
we want to sign you, but then we'll fire him if you sign with us?
Perfectly legal because Bill is no longer under contract with another team. Wow. If Bill was still with the Patriots, then yes, it's tampering. But Bill is not under contract anymore. They parted ways. They agreed to terminate the deal. Bill is free to do whatever he wants.
That's Sirianni's about living under that fucking.
Well, you know, I think Nick Sirianni kind of proved this year that he might have been living off Shane Steichen and Jonathan Gannon. So
yeah,
because the Cardinals, while not being good, at least looked better than all of us thought they were going to look this year. And Shane Steichen took Gardner Minshew and won 10 games this year and missed the playoffs. Like they were a pretty good team most of the year, and you got to think if Anthony Richardson's healthy, you know how good are they going to be then? So I think them moving on from Sirianni is not crazy. There's also so they already did that. They filled those. What most teams do is their first couple interviews are usually where they check off their Rooney Rule candidates. It sucks to say it like that, but that's usually what most teams do.
Is what it is.
So that covers the Atlanta Falcons part of this. So the Atlanta Falcons currently still without a head coach. Go ahead.
Really quick, if Bill Belichick does go to the Eagles, number one, screw him. Number two, the silver lining is tush push goes away. He ain't standing for that shit. He's like, what the hell am I
I disagree
here?
completely.
You think so?
You're talking about a guy who's infatuated with rugby. He's gonna love that play. They might run it more. They might run it more.
Scrum it up.
They didn't do the tush push with Brady, but all the time they were at the one, Brady would go in and get a touchdown.
But Brady had like 30 rushing touchdowns in his career, and they were all of the 1 yard variety.
He had the layers of protection too.
That's what I'm saying. Even with Hurts, I love it.
Let's see how fast Jason Kelce comes out of retirement and fucking Bill Belichick signs.
So just to touch on that also, Jason Kelce has said he has not announced a retirement. There are people that are speculating that he is waiting to see what happens with the coaching situation to make his decision. Supposedly, there are a lot of players that are not pleased with Sirianni. Supposedly. None of this is backed by any concrete information, but
his players had to tell him to calm down on the sideline, screaming at refs and players.
Well, go back to the Super Bowl last year, talking shit across the field to the other sideline in the first half when they're winning. Come on, you're a head coach. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't have a problem with head coaches getting animated, but come on now, got to draw the line somewhere. It's a little much. All right, so we've covered Atlanta. Atlanta currently without a head coach. They seem like they're eyeing Belichick or bust right now. So I don't know what their backup plan is going to look like. So that's Atlanta. We'll touch on some of the situations that have more clear pictures at the moment. The Las Vegas Raiders. As it currently stands, the Las Vegas Raiders still have Antonio Pierce under contract. It is not as their head coach, but he is under contract. And to this point, the Las Vegas Raiders have not interviewed any other candidates at all. None. Seems to me like we know where that one's going. I think the other telling sign for Vegas with Antonio Pierce is that Patrick Graham, their defensive coordinator, has been denied the opportunity to interview for other DC jobs. So because it would be a lateral move, the Raiders do have the right to block those interview requests, and they have done that, I think, with 3 different teams at this point. So it seems like the Raiders are going to formally announce at some point. I think they're waiting until they get their GM situation figured out. But it seems like they're going to announce Antonio Pierce as their head coach, and they're probably going to keep Patrick Graham with him as their DC, and then they'll look to bring in a new offensive coordinator, I would assume, to get that McDaniel system out of there.
Makes sense.
So that situation.
They don't have to abide by the Rooney rules?
No, because he's an already employed coach and he's getting promoted.
Yep.
The Patriots did the same thing when they hired Gerard Mayo. The Patriots didn't have to interview anybody because Gerard Mayo was already on the staff, and it's a promotion. So you don't have to.
Also, didn't with Mayo? Didn't they like this was predetermined? Like it was
I've heard that, but no one's really explained what exactly that meant. But there's been a number of people say that he had some sort of clause in his contract to do with head coaching, but no one's really like specified what that means.
From what I heard, he was named in whatever contract. He was named as the successor for
so I don't think that they're legally. As my guess would be is that there was probably some form of stipulation in the contract where if Bill Belichick was no longer with the organization, he got like a certain pay bump, like that of signifying a head coaching status. And but I don't know. No one's actually explained what this supposed head coaching clause actually means.
Weird.
Yeah, it's very strange. I've never heard anything like that, but it's not that surprising. It's like, hey, look at the Patriots making a change, and it's like, yeah, they brought in a Belichick disciple. Shocking. So really, what are they changing? Just the guy who's actually the head coach.
I'm rooting for the Raiders to screw this up royally like they usually do, and not keep Pierce, because Pierce will look nice in Giants blue on the defensive coordinator for them next year. Just saying.
And I told you guys what's going to happen if that happens. I've laid it out for you. I know Steve and Melo don't agree, but I told you exactly what's going to happen if that happens.
What's going to happen?
Tell the viewers out there, because they don't know.
So this is what I said. If the Raiders do end up not hiring Antonio Pierce, I actually think Pierce does take that Giants job. I think Pierce goes back to the Giants as their DC under Daboll. And I think the Giants make that move fully with the intention of Antonio Pierce being their head coach in 2025. As long as he comes in and is the same guy that he was in Las Vegas, that rallied a broken team to make them look like they had life in them and fight in them again, and won some decent games. They beat the Chiefs down the stretch in an important game for Kansas City. They had decent wins against good teams. So I think if the Giants make that move, they're making that move as a Daboll out. They're giving Brian Daboll 1 year to not be a complete fucking dick. And after that, they're going to move Antonio Pierce into the head coaching job. That's my prediction.
I do think all that's a moot point, because I think he just stays with the Raiders. And
I do too.
Doesn't he want to entertain that?
You can't hope though, right?
Well, yeah. I don't know. I mean, we've all seen the Raiders. We've seen the Raiders beat the Chiefs when they were the Chiefs of old during the regular season. Well, I love Antonio Pierce, so I wish him nothing but the best. But it's the Raiders, so you gotta assume somebody's gonna get arrested.
They'll probably hire a wide receiver.
I do think though that them moving forward with Pierce, I think, is definitely the best thing for him. The way that team rallied around him is just not something you see with teams very often.
But it's the Davis family. He might be like, listen, I need someone who runs fast. Why? He's the head coach. Doesn't matter. As long as he runs fast, I'm going to hire him.
So there was a lot of rumors.
A
lot of rumors before the season ended that Mark Davis regretted not promoting. Was it Rick Baccia? Was that the special teams coordinator that took over for them a few years ago? And they actually rallied and made the playoffs with him as their interim. But then in the offseason, when it came time to hire a coach, they hired Josh McDaniels instead of just promoting him, and everything went downhill after that. But supposedly Mark Davis has regretted that decision. And so a lot of people have speculated that he wasn't going to make the same mistake twice, especially with the backing of the locker room that Antonio Pierce has had there in Vegas.
Learn from your mistakes.
Mark Davis is already smarter than his father, so there you go. Good for him.
And at the same time as you say that, Raul says, God bless Al Davis. I miss him.
He's a lunatic. He's a lunatic.
I think I said this on at least on a show with you, Timmy, a long time ago. It's a weird friendship, but Al Davis was best friends with a very well-known substitute teacher in Brooklyn, Mr. Epstein. And Mr. Epstein and Al Davis were best friends. Mr. Epstein lived up the street from me, was a substitute teacher. Al Davis was sitting in an owner's suite owning a professional football team.
What was Mr. Epstein's first name?
Oh man.
Juan.
I'm just curious because there was an Epstein that was a teacher that got in a lot of trouble
Juan.
not too long ago. He was a
Not
teacher
a-
and then became a billionaire, and then
I'm the only one old
No,
No,
enough to
not
get
that Epstein.
that
God,
reference, right?
no.
I had to ask.
Was
sorry.
Mr. Davis on
No,
the
Mr.
island?
Oh, hold
Steve?
on, Mr. My. So let's see what you got me saying now. My Mr. Epstein was about 75 years old
your
in
Mr. Epstein now.
1995. So
He's your Mr. Epstein now.
let's not
I
let's
guess.
not badmouth the Davis family. By all accounts, Al Davis has done a lot of things for the progress of football
Jeremy.
and whatnot. So,
East,
anyways,
baby.
other coaching situations that we're going to get into. It does not seem like there is a leader in the clubhouse for Carolina as far as who they're going to hire. I can't really get a read on that situation. It feels like they've just hired every name that's out there. I have no idea who. I think the ones they haven't interviewed obviously are like the Mike Vrabel and Bill Belichick. Have not interviewed with them, but I think they've interviewed just about everyone else, including Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh seems. It seems like we're kind of in an interesting domino effect situation here, where we're waiting for the first domino to fall so the rest can fall into place.
as
I
always,
think Harbaugh wants the Atlanta job, but I think he would be willing to take the Chargers job. But then again, the Chargers interviewed Mike Vrabel yesterday, and I don't know which way they're leaning. There hasn't really been a good tell from what has come out from their beat writers and such, if they're leaning one way or the other, whether they
he
want
interviewed with
Harbaugh
Seattle
or
too, right?
Vrabel.
Vrabel.
Vrabel or Harbaugh?
Vrabel.
Harbaugh did not. I don't.
I think I saw Vrabel interview with Seattle.
So.
Seattle.
You know what? Real quick, we talked about on this
with the
before.
Chargers.
Chargers.
Yeah, Vrabel interviewed with the Chargers. I want to say it was yesterday. It might have been today. I think it was yesterday though.
So let's say the Falcons, right? They want Belichick. Belichick wants them. It's all set and done. But now they have to go out and interview minority, coaches before they can hire Belichick. No one else sees a problem with that, like I do.
They've already.
But no one else finds that extremely. That's more racist to me than the actual why the Rooney Rule was put in place.
So early on, when the Rooney Rule was placed, a lot of teams would do that. They would find their candidate and then bring in their Rooney Rule candidates to interview. Most
is that
teams
insulting? Wouldn't you be insulted?
Yeah, 100%.
We've talked about this many times on this show.
It does not fucking work. It's more insulting than anything else. They want Belichick. Belichick wants them. That's it. Let it go. Don't go randomly. Oh, I'm going to bring in this guy because I have to. And you're going in there just as a token fucking interview. I'd be insulted. I'd say, dude, fuck you and your job. I don't want to go.
I think there was changes made to the rule actually because of that. I forgot who it was. There was a candidate, I want to say it was like 6 or 7 years ago now, who refused an interview and made the comment that he refused the interview because he was just being used as a Rooney Rule candidate.
Yeah, bullshit.
What most teams do now is they usually will interview like 4 or 5 coaches like within like a 2 or 3 day stretch, and usually when they do that, one of those candidates is their candidate needed to fulfill their Rooney Rule, and then they end up moving forward and making their decision.
If I'm the owner, I wouldn't do it. Just find me. I don't give a shit.
Wouldn't do
Find
what?
Me. I wouldn't abide by the Rooney Rule.
Abide by the Rooney Rule.
If I'm the owner of the Falcons, Bill Belichick says I want to coach your team, or I want you to coach for me.
What's the punishment then?
Let's get it done. I'm not going to go call up some random fucking blackhead coach because I have to. That's insulting to them. It's insulting to everyone involved. So I'd be like, listen, Belichick wants to come. I'm signing Bill Belichick. He's our new head coach. Take your Rooney Rule and shut up your ass. Find me whatever you have to do. I don't care. It's a horrible rule.
I think there has been fines from it.
I
don't think. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you also have to think that what if this person is Belichick and he's also interviewing with other people? Like, you have to also like account for that, where he might not be, and then you're stuck and you're like, oh crap, now I can't go get that guy because he interviewed over there and he's got that job, and now you're stuck with peanuts.
No, but I'm saying
of course.
In a case where, like you said, if this is what it is, Belichick wants Atlanta wants Belichick. That's it. There should be no. I have to interview this guy now. This guy now. That's insulting to those guys. I wouldn't want to refuse. And if you're not sure, then I understand you got to go through different interviews, interview different people. That I get. But if it's a set thing, Belichick comes out and says, "I want to coach the Falcons." Falcons say, well, of course we want Bill Belichick. Why go insult a bunch of people just to fill some stupid rule? That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't do it if I was an owner. I'd ignore it. Find me. I don't care.
In true, well, let me not say who it is. There is only one team to have ever been fined for violating the Rooney Rule. Which team is that?
The Jets.
Raiders.
The Raiders.
Excellent choices. It is the Detroit Lions, though.
Who was their
They
hire?
were the only. I don't know who the hire was. I don't know who the hire was, but it was back in 2003. At the time, the fine was $200,000, and now it's $500,000.
Well, who was that coach?
I'm trying to remember.
What was his
That was before
name?
Caldwell. That was before Jim Caldwell. I know that. I can't remember who their coach was
2003?
before him.
Who was the 49ers?
Oh, was it fuck, the name's on the tip of my tongue. I can see him.
Morningwig?
Well,
Morningwig.
It doesn't
I don't think it was
doesn't
2003,
necessarily
right?
It's not going to be who they hired, though.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah,
it'll be-
obviously.
Wait, it says.
Yeah.
Wait, I lied.
They-
The
Steve
person they hired in
Mariucci.
03 was Steve Mariucci, yeah.
So that was the hire.
Yeah.
My God, they've had some terrible
Okay,
fucking coaches
Lions.
over there. You're just
Yeah,
looking
even
at
the one
that
we have
list.
now.
That's a fucking abysmal list. Yeah, that
Okay,
guy who
so
got
it says
that
in
now, one of the first
2003
playoff team in 30-something years.
Yeah. 2003, the NFL fined the Detroit Lions $200,000 for failure to interview African American candidates for the team's vacant head coaching job after Marty Mornhinweg was fired. The Lions immediately hired former San Francisco 49ers Steve Mariucci to replace him without interviewing any other candidates. So they got
So they went the Tim route. They
Yeah.
just said we're
They went-
hiring
He probably
Steve
didn't
Mariucci.
Well,
know that this was
yo,
a rule.
this is a match on Tinder. That's what Tim used to say. You get a match on Tinder, boom, you go.
But I'm saying Steve Mariucci comes out on TV and says,
How do
I
you know
want to
about
coach
Tinder,
the
Steve?
Lions. I want to coach the Lions. And the Lions say, we want Steve Mariucci. There should be no fucking problem with that. None.
This is
There
also
should be
why the
no
Lions
issue
sucked
with
for
that.
so long, though, because they hired Steve Mariucci. No, I'm just
True. I'm not sticking up for Steve Mariucci. I'm just saying.
No,
Yeah,
I'm just messing around.
All right, and what else we got on this head coach?
So other teams. So obviously the chart. It seems like the Chargers and Falcons are kind of like competing here, are semi-competing, I guess, because they're really the only two teams that seem to be in on the Belichick. Two teams that we know about that are in on Belichick. Like I said, I think that Eagles situation is interesting to monitor. Like if we wake up tomorrow morning and Sirianni's fired, I think I know which way those crumbles are going. Those breadcrumbs. The other team I wanted to discuss. Seattle. That was the one. Seattle, to this point, they've interviewed several candidates as well. I don't think they've had a chance to formally interview Dan Quinn yet. I don't know if I'm not sure if they actually.
Let me correct myself. They want to interview Vrabel. They have not interviewed Vrabel.
Who was that?
Seattle.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds. I think he'd be a great fit there. Actually, now that I think about it, that would be a really good fit. I like that one. Dang, I might like that one better. I'm not gonna lie. When I heard he was interviewing with the Chargers, I was like, actually, I kind of like that. If anyone's gonna go into San Diego and fix some shit, it's Mike Vrabel. But Seattle,
He's gonna make two trades. He's trading Herbert to the Giants, and then he's getting a certain quarterback from Tennessee.
He's bringing Will Levis back.
Bringing Will Levis, West Side Will Levis.
Trading Justin Herbert to bring in Will Levis. That would be one of the ballsiest moves I think I've ever seen.
It's gonna happen.
Vrabel's got him. Vrabel has him.
I'm still missing a couple teams. Who am I missing? Oh, Washington. Like I said, Washington's basically just, I think they're using like the spray chart. They're just interviewing everyone and then seeing what happens.
They're waiting for somebody wants. So someone said, I want to
throwing something at the wall.
Yeah.
Seeing what sticks.
Whatever sticks.
They took all the darts from the game of darts and just chucked them at the wall, and just wherever they landed, that's where
they're like, literally, whoever's left will take that guy. That's the guy.
Yeah, I think it's kind of weird that none of these jobs have actually been filled yet. I was expecting the Belichick one to have happened by now. I'm really then Vrabel too. I didn't think those guys were going to last very long on the open market.
Oh, everyone's waiting for Belichick. Everyone's waiting for Belichick.
So the rumor is everyone's waiting for Harbaugh, which I don't know if I want to buy that. Because to me it seems like for Harbaugh, it seems like it's the Chargers or nothing. I think it's the Chargers or he goes back to Michigan, which I think going back to Michigan's a mistake because his staff's about to get fucking massacred.
Yeah,
He's
losing some guys too.
So I don't know about that one. Am I missing anybody? Oh, the Titans. The Titans interviewed. Oh my god, they interviewed somebody today. I forgot who it was. I know they interviewed Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson.
DC?
No, I'm sorry, not Brian Johnson. Who is the Eagles offensive coordinator? What's his name? His name is Brian Johnson too, isn't it?
Douchebag McGillicuddy.
Whoever's the Eagles offensive coordinator is who the Titans interviewed today, I believe it was. And the amount of tweets online about them interviewing the wrong candidate were hilarious.
Brian Johnson?
Is it Brian Johnson?
Why are so many teams interviewing Mike Kafka? Nobody. After the brilliant job that
they didn't learn their lesson from Brian Daboll.
I just see Kafka interviewed 17 different interviews. What
their offensive staff?
What is he game plan? What game plan is he giving?
When he took over. Mike Kafka's pitch is, I'm going to come in and I'm going to bring Josh with me. In spirit.
The Titans are the other team that only other team that interviewed Antonio Pierce, I think.
Yeah. No, Antonio Pierce interviewed with them and Carolina.
And Carolina, okay.
Or was it Washington?
What do you
Washington actually? Washington interviewed
what do you think is the most
everybody?
What job do you think is the least appealing?
The least at Carolina, easy.
Nobody wants to go to Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Then
so
head coach after head coach after head coach. Quarterback.
The owner seems like it's a real problem. I wouldn't want that.
Can't get the running back situated. Nothing's good about that team. What's the shining light on the Panthers team?
Adam Thielen.
Adam Thielen. All right.
No one wants that.
And Adam Thielen and Adam Thielen.
You want to just say the punter just because?
Hey, Chuba Hubbard was good down the stretch. Watch him
out.
All
right. Okay.
Chuba was good.
He's got
the field goal kicker made 2 game-winning field goals.
Yeah.
All 2 of their wins.
Yeah,
for a draft pick they don't own.
All right. So seems like we'll have a lot more situated next show. I think the ball will probably start rolling Monday on these. I think Monday is when we're going to start the news. Because I think once we get one, we'll get like 3 or 4 within like a 24-hour stretch. Yeah. Agreed. All right, let's get into our divisional round picks, and then we'll close out with something fun. We'll blind rank. We'll do a round of blind ranking of Super Bowl-winning quarterbacks. Could be Brady, could be Namath. Don't leave that one spot open and get Namath in there.
Number 1.
Do it. Anxiety.
All right. So let's stuck with Joe Namath at number 1. I'm just going to shut the computer off and run away. I'm not even going to say goodbye. I'm just out. I'm out.
All right. We start off. We got 4
else at one just so that doesn't happen.
All right. We start off with our divisional round picks. Our first game is up on Saturday. It's the Texans. The Texans make it to the divisional round of the playoffs at the Ravens. This one's Saturday, 4:30 on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN Plus. Look at that brilliance down there, huh? Melo approved.
Love the graphic today.
We're fancy. All right, Ravens.
Next week we're gonna have Central Standard Time on there too.
Ravens make their 2024 playoff debut. They were off last week. They had a nice little bye. They're a 9.5 point favorite against the Texans. Start off with you, Timmy.
I am going to take the Ravens, but I do not think it's going to be no 9.5 game. I like the Texans. I think are going to stick in there. Stroud's going to do his thing, but the Ravens are too good. So the Ravens are going to win this one. But I think it's going to be a close game.
All right, Dave.
I will take the Ravens, and I think they'll cover the 9.5. Thinking about it now,
Big.
they get Mark Andrews back. I think them losing Andrews had Lamar have to rely on other people, and now he's feeding them. With Andrews added into this, I think it's going to be tough to beat these guys unless that week or two off did them bad, which I hope it didn't, because I want to see this team.
That's where I'm going. They didn't have a week off. They had 2 weeks off. Don't forget.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they didn't play week 18. That's right.
Nope.
Yeah, nobody played.
No thoughts on the fact that their offense started scoring more touchdowns when Andrews went down?
That's what I'm saying. It kind of like unlocked the offense. Like now he had to rely on more people. So I feel like throwing him in there.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing though?
Yeah, because I feel like defenses are now gonna have to like focus on him when you can now just get Likely.
Oh, I don't mean defenses. I mean, and I'm not
Zay
trying
Flowers
to
will catch more than
negative
2
about
passes.
Lamar, but does Lamar focus on him too much and make them more limited offensively?
So there's multiple ways to think about it, right? Because then you could also think about it that he got more comfortable throwing to these other guys, and are the Texans going to plan around that and not have to double team an Andrews now, or have a game plan of not double teaming Andrews, and now you have Andrews on single coverage out there. Interesting. All right. Ant, leads into you.
I would not be shocked if the Texans won this game, but I'm going to pick the Ravens.
Do they cover the 9.5?
I think they do. I agree with Tim on that. Stroud is too good. He's doing things like the rookie quarterbacks just.
No, you don't. You mean the Texans cover? You mean the 9.5 plus 9.5?
Did you say Ravens? I meant Texans. That I think the Texans cover.
Yeah.
Look, the Titans made it to Royals playoffs.
I saw
again.
that. in honor of Mike Vrabel.
Clean sweep, gents. Ravens all the way around here.
What
I
about
think
you,
they
boss?
cover.
Do they cover?
I think the Ravens cover. All right.
So we got 2 covers and 2 not covers.
The Packers. Can Jordan Love do what Aaron Rodgers could never do? Could not do. Could not get over the hump. Packers at the 49ers, same spread here as the Texans-Ravens. 49ers are a 9.5-point favorite. This game Saturday night, 8:15 on Fox. Melo, we start with you on this one.
Nick Bosa is going to have a field day and actually be the one defensive player to actually show up in the playoffs. Unlike, TJ Watt that was not playing, Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, all those guys that, people like to say is better than Nick Bosa.
Aiden Hutchinson dominated.
He looked pretty good.
Just saying.
Yeah,
he also had the refs helping him. So, I mean, that's what it is.
Hey.
They must have had like 30 refs on the field, as much help as they were giving out. It's crazy.
Ant, who you got here?
So they say that if you are the best at something, that you should not fear the second best at something. You should fear the worst at something because you don't know what that dumb motherfucker is going to do. And I think in this situation, that could be the Packers defensive coordinator who has been terrible all season. But I think that actually makes them harder to plan for with Kyle Shanahan. And I say all that to still pick the 49ers. But my God, would I love for Jordan Love to go into San Francisco and win this game. San Jose.
We all know you would.
They play in San Jose.
We know you would.
They don't play anywhere near San Francisco. They're like an hour and change away.
Oh, man. All right. So that's 2 for the 49ers. I'm going to go ahead and make it 3. I know Jordan Love looked good, but there's no other team in the NFC that I think is beating the 49ers. So Packers, I appreciate the shit out of you guys. Really, I do. for knocking these girls out of here.
Good job.
So I appreciate it. Thank you very much. But the run is over until next year. This week is the 49ers. And I think that Timmy is going to bust up our sweep here.
No, I'm going 49ers. I think 49ers.
I'm not gonna. If Timmy was gonna say Packers, I was gonna switch.
No,
I knew it. I knew
Tim had said Packers, I was gonna
you
say
needed some solidarity there.
But again, I don't think a 9.5. I don't see a 9.5. I think the Packers will put up a fight, but McCaffrey, that defense, it's 49ers, baby. 49ers. They're gonna lose to Detroit next week, but yeah. 49ers.
Speaking of teams that have had 2 weeks off,
Yeah, them too.
Ooh, you
I
piqued
feel like they're good. They got a
Melo's
good
interest for
quarterback,
next week.
best running back in the league. We're good. I think they cover too.
49ers. Oh, this is bold. Okay, I'm with you. Doing it. All right, let's shift our focus to Sunday. The Bucks and the Yeast head to Detroit, Rock City. Eminem will no doubt be there again, hyping up the crowd. Lions are a 6.5 point favorite here. It is Sunday, 3:00 on NBC and the Cock. This is not a Cock exclusive. Just want everybody to realize that when you go to look for the Bucks and Lions, you don't have to necessarily go to see the Cock in order to see this game. It's also on NBC.
Not everybody likes to jump on the cock. Not everybody likes to jump on the cock, so that's good.
That's right. With this one in particular, we're going to start with Anthony down there.
I told you guys last week the Lions were going to the NFC title game, and I wasn't kidding.
Okay. This is a no doubter here. This is a no doubter for me. The Lions take it all this week with no help from said referees.
6.5. Oh my God.
I know where Timmy's going. We don't have to stop here.
Listen, Todd Bowles got lucky one week. He actually smiled for the first time in 35 years. But he's not getting lucky this week. Dan Campbell's going to have that team ready to run through a fucking wall, and that wall's name is the Bucks. Go Lions.
All right. Here we go.
Hello.
Melo, what you got? This
Dave?
is a sweep buster.
Of course, I'm still at this point. I'm still delayed. Oh my God! All right, well, I just want to put it out there. Last week, everyone picked the Eagles, and there was only one person. Oh, I think 2 people. But on this show, that picked the Bucks to win, and the Bucks came out and they thrashed the Eagles. So
But
once
it's the
again,
Eagles. The
I'm
Eagles
gonna
are
go.
Fugazi.
So are the Lions. I'm going with the Bucks. They're gonna obviously cover this, regardless if they win or lose. They cover this, and yeah,
The Bucks haven't lost. I mean, the
Baker
Lions haven't lost
Mayfield
6 of their last
has-
7.
Baker Mayfield right now has more playoff wins than the Browns do in the last God knows how many years. Baker, and he has one of those wins.
They only have
respect on my
one.
man's name,
They only have one. And it
Exactly.
Was with
Isn't
him.
it one? Yeah.
and it's because of him.
Did you notice how Melo just very discreetly threw in that win or lose, they're going to cover? Just to make sure he covered himself. Win or lose, they're going to cover.
I think the Lions cover this as well.
I do too.
Looking at 3 covers here for the home team. And I don't know why I set this up on me to start off with this next one. But here we are. The matchup.
Oh wait, I was
That-
gonna ask something about the Lions.
Oh, yeah, go. Oh, okay. Go ahead. My bad.
You said that Eminem and No Doubt were gonna be there.
Eminem no doubt will be there. Not Eminem and no doubt will be there.
Why the fuck would No
Okay.
Doubt be there?
Is no doubt from
That's
I,
what
Detroit?
I heard him say
But-
Eminem and No Doubt. I was like, No Doubt, like that's so random. Like Gwen Stefani.
We don't need 2000 ska bands walking around anymore. And I
Are they
hate Gwen.
considered ska.
I hate Gwen Stefani with a fiery passion. So there's no need for her to show up anywhere.
Why?
Holla back, girl. That's why. Single
Not
word song.
bananas?
Bananas?
But hey,
Single
everyone knows how
word
to spell
song.
bananas
Come
now.
on.
Single
Yes.
word song in the
Yeah.
history of man.
That's great.
No one could ever misspell that now.
If you call my
All
phone
right.
Just
right
like
now,
Mississippi.
if you call my phone right now, listen to my voicemail. It's been the same one for 20 years. It's Brian from Family Guy saying, "I don't know what a hollaback girl is. All I know is I want her dead." It's been my voicemail for 20 years.
Gwen Stefani was born in Fullerton, California.
She could
So I
fucking
don't think
choke
she's
on
gonna
a
be at
big
the.
dick. She's gonna choke on Blake Shelton's fucking monster dick if he has one. Screw him.
Oh my god.
Yes. There is hatred there. There is hatred there.
Wow.
I just
I
don't
didn't
like
That
realize
was kind of
that
compliment
level of
to
hatred.
Blake Shelton, though.
He's
Blake
over here
Shelton's
talking
a
about
scumbag.
her like Melo talks about Daniel Jones. This is crazy.
Okay, here comes our tangent for the night where angry Tim has to show up. Let me tell you about Blake Shelton. Blake Shelton was married, fell in love with Miranda Lambert, dumped his wife from Miranda Lambert, was with Miranda Lambert, fell in love with Gwen Stefani, dumped his wife from fucking Gwen Stefani. He's probably got the next one all ready to fucking go, lined up and ready to go. So fuck him, fuck her. I don't care.
It's like Packers quarterbacks.
Exactly.
The next one's lined up, baby.
It's all lined up already.
Oh my god.
All
That's
right.
a whole nother show, though.
Oh.
That's a whole nother show.
Thanks, Timmy, for giving me a little bit more time to think about this game. The Sunday evening game, 6:30, CBS and Paramount Plus. We didn't think we were going to see this game this year, right? We didn't
The
think
Mount?
Buffalo
The
Buffalo
Mount?
was going to mount the cock. Wow. All right. So
Paramount
so
the cock.
Paramount the cock, right?
Oh
Plus.
my god, Jesus.
All
Well,
right,
this is our
so,
last show, ladies and gentlemen.
we appreciate everybody's support along the way of the 85 episodes. So Chiefs at the Bills. That's weird to say, right? Chiefs at is very weird to say. So we went from again. I said this at the beginning of the show or somewhere in there. We went from the Bills probably not making the playoffs to now hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. The Bills are a 2.5-point favorite. All this is all very interesting. I know that they're home. Both cold weather teams. Who cares? I don't even. What's the weather supposed to be like?
Cold.
Well, right now
Buffalo-y?
they're in part 2 of their blizzard this week, so I don't know how it's going to be by
What is
Sunday.
happening there? Let's see.
You can't even see what you can't see a foot in front of you when you're driving today. So what's going to be like Sunday? I have no idea.
Sunday's going to be sunshine.
With 7
24
feet of
degrees.
snow, with 7 feet of snow outside the stadium.
All right, so that's 24 degrees, sunny. That's you can open it up. Passing game. I don't know how the wind's going to be, but this is I'm procrastinating to. I don't know who the fuck. Jesus Christ! You can't pick against the Chiefs.
Shall I go?
You want to go? What? Yeah. What the hell? His freaking helmet cracks.
That's
how
go
cold it was.
I think it's finally time to exercise the demons. And I'm going with Buffalo to finally beat Kermit and that fucking Taylor Swift bitch. I'm going with that. I'm going with the Bills.
Wow.
Jesus. Tim is
I'm going with the Bills. I'm angry.
Timmy is very angry during the segment.
Bro,
very
God.
angry.
Somehow Taylor Swift.
We don't need the Swifties
for no
not on our
reason. What's
side.
going on?
I said nothing against Taylor Swift. I said that Taylor Swift bitch. I like Taylor.
Oh, Taylor Swift's bitch.
Taylor
I thought you
Swift's
said Taylor
bitch.
Swift.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
We
Apostrophe
thought you said
S.
that Taylor Swift bitch. That's what we
Raul.
thought.
Raul.
Yeah, that's
All right, my bad. I meant to say Taylor Swift's apostrophe S bitch.
okay. All right, now we're okay.
I like T-Swizzle. Don't cancel me. I like T-Swizzle. It's all right.
I thought so too. I thought maybe you started not to like her anymore. I
was about to put out a public service announcement for Dave and I. Like Dave and I are firmly in the Swift camp here. So
yeah.
I'm not going through fucking sensitive training again. It was hell. I'm not doing it again. Don't bring that guy with the mask back. Fuck that guy.
All right. Well, Melo, who you got
Bills,
here?
baby. Bills. I'm going for the Bills.
I mean, I want to do to reiterate, we love Taylor Swift on the show. We love her, swag surfing with everybody. And I think the biggest comeback has to be Brittany Mahomes. Thanks to Taylor Swift, she brought her back. Everyone loves her now.
That's because
I don't know about that, but
because stupid
they
brother's
don't look
not
at her
around.
as negatively.
They banned the brother. When was the last time you saw the brother?
And I didn't see him last week. He's been there a lot this season, though.
He's not allowed to be around Tay-Tay. That's why he's not.
I do like the jacket. Tay-Tay's jacket.
Did you see the backstory on that?
Just said Tay-Tay on. Yeah, I just said Tay-Tay.
Tay-Tay, T-Swizzle.
Steve, welcome aboard. Nice to have you. Nice to have you with us finally.
Yep.
Yeah,
nice.
Go ahead and tell who made the jackets.
So the jacket is actually made by Kristen Huschek, which is Kyle Huschek, fullback for the San Francisco 49ers. It's his wife. So his wife has been making this custom apparel for various teammates of Kyle's, wives of other players on other teams all over the league. She's been doing this for a while, apparently. She was actually Brittany Mahomes had reached out to her about making Brittany Mahomes a jacket for the game, a big puffer jacket with Patrick Mahomes' jersey on it. Kristen went out on a limb and made the Travis Kelce one and sent it and said, "Hey, please give this to who." And needless to say, the rest is history. But because of the outrage of how everyone loved the jacket, and apparently her Instagram followers have jumped by like 500,000 since then.
Yep.
She's mass followers. People are calling for the NFL to put her in charge of NFL women's apparel.
I hate
it's a pretty cool looking jacket. I'm not gonna lie.
I hate.
Did you see the?
Did you see the
cool.
one? Yeah, no, I like it a lot.
Did you see the one that she made for Taylor Lautner with Aiden Hutchinson's?
Oh yeah,
Aiden, it is Aiden, right?
Yeah.
Think of it.
I was thinking Adley.
Now
I was thinking of that. That's Rutschman though. That I'm fucking confused.
Rushman. Yeah. But players could now start. I mean, through her, they can design their puffer jackets like the Ultimate Warrior did. They could have face on there, on the sides, huh?
Or like Rick Rude,
crazy guy, that crazy bastard, or Rick Rude. Yeah. All right, Dave. Did you make your pick? No, you went straight to Brittany Mahomes. Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah, I was defending Taylor Swift and saying how Brittany Mahomes is the comeback player of the year. But I'm going Bills on this one. I think, like Timmy said, it is their time.
All right, Anthony. I feel like you're going the opposite way here.
I'm really torn on this game. I've been thinking about it since last week too. Like I said, I knew we were going to lose to the Chiefs. I guess for some reason didn't dawn on me that like almost automatically meant they were going to Buffalo.
They're gonna be firing snowballs at Kelce in the end zone, trying to catch.
I don't know. Security's going to be ramped up if there's a certain someone in attendance. So.
Security will be throwing at themselves. They're all lunatics in Buffalo.
She's gonna go to Buffalo.
Are you kidding me? Taylor Swift's going through a table on Sunday.
Yeah,
she's going through a table, baby.
Imagine she parties with the Bills Mafia before the game. How outrageous would that
be? Me and my brother-in-law is looking up in there, so you can try to find Taylor for me, will you? Those lunatics too.
What did I say before? Tay-Tay. Oh my God.
T-Swizzle, baby. T-Swizzle.
January 18, 2024 at 11 p.m.
Man, I still wasn't really sold on the Chiefs offensively last week. I wasn't impressed with anything. I mean, Rashee Rice had a good game, but they still just seem out of rhythm a little bit. I mean, they weren't as bad last week as they've been. I don't know. Everyone keeps thinking they're going to catch stride here at some point. I don't know that it's outside in Buffalo, though. Although they did just play in like negative 30-degree weather at home.
Yes.
No offense, Andy, but they played against the Dolphins, so it's not the same.
That's no. There's no offense taken. We fucking suck. I'm shocked we made the playoffs at this point. As bad as we've looked the last like 5 weeks. Damn, I kind of agree with you guys though. man, it feels like every year you get like that one storyline of like the team of destiny. And I feel weird saying it about Buffalo, but it kind of does seem like it is Buffalo. You know, they weren't supposed to make the playoffs. Not only do they make the playoffs, but they win the division. And because they win the division, and because of the Kadarius Toney lining up offsides, they actually get to play this game in Buffalo instead of at Arrowhead. A lot of dominoes falling their way here lately. I'm gonna go Buffalo.
Taylor Swift, but have you seen Rachel
Buffalo.
Bush's? Have you seen Rachel Bush's Instagram? Oh, sweet Lord, it's the greatest Instagram alive. Sorry, no offense to Taylor. I'm just saying. God bless you, Jordan Poyer. You are a man amongst men. I worship the ground you walk on. I worship the ground.
They also got a Hawk girl. No,
who?
What's her name? What's her name? The Hawkeye girl.
No idea who he's talking about.
The hot
girl Josh Allen's dating.
Oh, Haley Steinfeld.
Oh, Haley Steinfeld.
Oh, Hawkeye.
You said Hawkeye, and I was thinking Iowa Hawkeyes.
No, I said Hawkeye girl. I don't know what her superhero name is.
Yeah, no, what you said made sense. It just didn't register.
And listen. I'm not going to try to start a war here amongst people, but Taylor Swift, every game, Travis Kelce, not himself lately, dropping a lot of balls. Haley Steinfeld stays in the background. You never see her. Josh Allen on the fucking roll of his life. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Well, did she go to the games? What's her name?
She doesn't.
If she does, no one sees her on TV.
No one sees her on TV.
Well, so she's not. She's not supportive. Number one,
she's
that's what
supportive.
I'm getting out of that. No, she's not. She's not going to the games.
Yeah,
Taylor Swift. Do you see how Taylor Swift looks at the camera sometimes? I am not a Taylor Swift defender, but Taylor Swift will look at the camera like, okay, enough already.
Haley Steinfeld is a working actress who has to do things. Tay is on vacay.
Tay just
from her concert.
What, you see what it was? She just made over $1 billion on
exactly.
in the history of the world.
Exactly, and she's on vacay. Tay-Tay's on vacay
until her tour starts on vacay
in Buffalo.
Haley Steinfeld's not a billionaire. She has to go to work.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna man up and make a pick here. So we got 3 for Buffalo here, and I will listen. Full disclosure here, I am a game up on Ed. Timmy, where did Ed go here? Ed's going Chiefs.
He had to go Chiefs, or his wife would kill him.
He went Chiefs. So
you got to go Buffalo. Or you can pick Chiefs just to make sure.
No, if I go Buffalo, I swear to God, if I go Buffalo and the Chiefs do what the Chiefs do, I'm not. Both of these teams are capable of making monumental mistakes. It's the first, maybe the first time that we could say both teams are capable of this thing. It's the first time it's in Buffalo. It's the first time this. It's the first time that. But by the way, Anthony, if the Buffalo Bills win the Super Bowl this year, you have only the Dolphins to thank. But
I would be okay with that. Rock was a Bills fan, so I'd be okay with
yes, absolutely. Bills, Trailblazers,
49ers win.
Cubs, the most random 3 fucking teams ever. Notre Dame was the other one. Notre Dame.
All that being said,
like to meet fun. That was random.
Do you want? Well, and yeah, Notre Dame and Boston and the Celtics on your end. I'm still not ready. I'm still not ready to count out Mahomes and Kelsey. I'm going with Chiefs here.
Don't lie. You're just protecting your lead in picks. Get out of here.
Also, but listen, we talked. Allen can throw 3 critical picks, just as easily as he can have a badass 52-yard fake slide, snowball throwing celebration touchdown.
Can we talk about the fake slide? Has anyone ever seen this dude's 40-yard run? And we really believe this guy's coordinated enough to do a fake slide. Are we sure?
Look at it. I do. It's gonna be like, is this a real thing?
Are we sure he was fake sliding? I don't know that I buy that.
Here's my question to you. Do you want to talk about, you want to debate a fake slide, or do you want to go to the wheel?
Go to the wheel.
That's an obvious answer. Obvious.
Wheel.
Spin that wheel, baby.
Okay. All right.
Listen,
So
no matter what we do, we have to do a 2-hour show. No matter what we do.
I honestly
we
didn't
can
think
end
we were
it-
going to get to 2 hours today.
We were
Me
going.
neither. Listen,
honestly, after the Siakam segment, I was like, "Dang, we might run real long today." And then we sped through everything else. I'm like, "Fuck, we might not even make 2 hours." But we're good now.
listen. When I tell my wife, I said every week we'll go about 90 minutes. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the response I get. Yeah, okay.
Same thing, yeah.
But he gets out of the man
Okay.
cave and she's there like, yeah, 90 minutes, right?
No, that's
There's
at
not
9
much to
o'clock.
talk
I'll see you
about.
tomorrow.
Yeah, not much to talk about. We'll be over in an hour. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I said to her today. She was like, "Yeah, right." I was like, as the playoffs go on, more teams are eliminated. There's less to talk about. That
Nope,
was
not
my
true.
rationale.
Not
We
true.
start talking
Wrong
about-
group of guys for that one.
Yeah, they talk about fucking Taylor Swift and all those
Taylor
other
Swift.
We spent 35 minutes going from Pascal Siakam to random baseball players, or not random, but baseball players, to NBA players, to hockey players, to Achilles popping.
Yeah,
35 minutes off the bat, gone.
that's what we do.
Get
That's
that
what we
wheel.
do here. All right,
Son of a bitch.
we got the wheel here. Ant, are you in a position to track? I am also going to mark this bad boy. A little marker here. Marker has been created. We're doing the wheel. Doing the wheel here. So I thought this would be a fun thing to do because we talk about at the video that we did last week with who is the worst Super Bowl quarterback of all time. You got one guy in our TikTok comments that was very upset about the
About Joe
Joe
Namath?
Namath thing. He listed out like 7 other quarterbacks, and then Ant was like, "I'd still take any of them over."
100%. I had to respond to that when I saw that comment. I'm like, I can't let this go.
He's like, and I took
What?
that
A shot
personally.
a chance to take a shot at Joe Namath? Done. Got it.
You're learning well, Anthony. You're learning well.
Oh no, trust me, my Joe Namath despise goes way further back than this.
Oh, that's a lot of
cannot stand
quarterbacks.
him.
Is all the Super Bowl winners? All the Super Bowl winners, right?
He's all Super Bowl winning quarterbacks right
Guys,
here.
Is this the whole list though? Is this every quarterback that's ever won a
Quick
Super Bowl?
real quick, please.
Yes. Every quarterback that has all there's 32 quarterbacks that have won a Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. I was
Scroll
like,
down
dang,
a
I
little
feel
bit.
like we're missing names. Then he scrolled down.
Oh
Okay,
yeah. See, you the name that you were
Looking,
missing,
I'm
you were
like,
desperate
man,
for
I
was
feel
Joe
like we're
Flacco.
missing
I'm
some
sure.
people. That's the name I was looking for. I was like, wait, where's Joe Flacco? Wait a second.
All right. So again, the rules are we spin the wheel, we rank 1 through 5 without knowing who's going to be next. Raul, you're
Take
out.
care, Raul.
Final word. Let's go Devils.
Did you just
Golden
write, let's go
Knights,
Liverpool?
Liverpool, Taylor Swift, and Pop Culture Pros. All right.
Raul, you're suspended for a week for
Hey.
writing Liverpool. I'm sorry.
No,
my
he
friend.
fixed it with the Pop Culture Pros.
Okay.
Swift.
Never mind. You
That
got
was
it. All right. Never mind, Raul. I take it back.
Swift. All right. So those are the rules. We'll see. We'll see if we wind up with Hostetler as a 1 or 2. Let's do it. Ready, fellas? Are we ready? Are you
Let's
ready?
go.
Oh my god, there's so many bad
Let's
names
ride.
on this list. It's way more than I thought
Let's
there would
ride.
be.
All right. First up here. There it is. Get
Yeah,
it right
baby.
out of the way.
Oh,
It crossed over. Now, here's the thing. Do we keep 5 open for Namath? That's my struggle. I want
Do you
I
keep 5
have
open,
a vendetta.
or do you leave
have a
one
ven-
open with the chance that Namath ends up there? It's so risky.
I'm gonna put Len Dawson at 4. I don't think he's that bad. I'm just waiting for the other shitheads to get up there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick
Melo's
him
got
at
him
4.
at number 5. I'm putting him at 4.
Numero cinco.
Dave, you said 5.
Yes, sir.
I'm going 4. There's a lot of bad names on this list, though.
Here we go.
Did you remove him?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Certainly.
Ooh, Big Ben.
Big Ben.
Ooh.
I'm going 3 with Big Ben.
I'm gonna go 3 also.
I'm gonna go 2.
Damn it, Dave. I'm also going to.
I flirted with 2 for a second in my mind.
Going with 2. I
Crazy
thought
that he
Ben was
didn't-
really good in his Super Bowl wins.
and he was an MVP.
Neither time. That is weird.
Yeah,
It was twice, right? It is 2. It is
Yeah.
2.
2 of them things.
5.
5.
5.
Can I put him? Can I put him at 1 for the Colts one and 5 for the Broncos one? Just double whammy it. Jeez Louise. Is there any quarterback that had 2 so different performances in Super Bowls that won both of them?
Yeah, right. I think so.
I'm comfortable with him going at 1.
I'm going 3.
1. How can he go 1? Isn't 1 the worst?
No, the best.
No. 1's the best.
I thought we were going the worst quarterback, so the number 1 would have to be the worst.
No.
No.
I'm confused now.
No, ranking them
We're
best to
doing
worst.
regular rankings. Like,
Yeah.
But we're talking about the worst quarterback.
Yes.
So what is
the
the
top
worst
worst
one?
quarterback.
No, this is just all the quarterbacks that have won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we're the worst quarterback, that's what we're doing, right? The worst quarterback.
No. This is just ranking Super Bowl winning quarterbacks.
Okay, but I'm saying is we're doing the worst ones, right? We're doing like
We're
No.
doing all of them.
No, just best.
oh,
Dave, you
fuck
said
me,
3,
Go
then.
right?
from best to
All
worst.
right, all right. So he's at 1 then, not 5. I'm
Yeah.
thinking we're doing like the worst. Like who's the worst?
Who'd you have
also putting
before?
him at 1.
No, I'm
He
good
had
where
Ben
I'm
at
really
3, Len Dawson at 4.
No, I'm fine with those. But
Yeah.
yeah, put Peyton at 1. I'm gonna put Peyton right at 1.
Dave, I did not hear yours.
3. Sorry, I keep I'm really breaking in and out now.
I'm not taking a risk. That Joe Namath is gonna get number 1. I'm not taking that risk.
Closing that door right now.
2 more to go here. We got our number 1.
And 4.
Mark Rippon or
Wait.
Ooh,
Okay.
that was gonna be close. That was close. That was right on the border there. What do I have? I have 2 and 5, right?
You have 2 and 5 open. You've Peyton 1, Ben 3, Dawson 4, which you and Tim have the same list.
Yeah, I'm going 5.
Yeah, has to.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go with this bullshit.
Dave, where did you have him?
Dave's frozen.
Oh no. Completely
Dave?
frozen. Head tilted and all.
He's Elsa. So we all had tilts with Dave and
Wait.
solidarity.
Wrong
Solidarity.
Yeah, there it is. And if he starts moving in, we do the
Oh, he moved.
Movement.
I can hear you guys.
Movement.
all right, there's movement, there's eyes blinking. All right, he's coming back. He's out of the chamber.
Ben Rippon.
4. I thought you saw me.
I
Before I
did
left.
not. There was no movement. You were frozen.
No, you just like this. All right, so we have what's open for everybody?
Steve and Tim both have 2 open. You guys have identical lists. Dave has 1 open. I have 3 open.
Ooh,
So
Dave is
much.
number 1.
You put
Wow,
Peyton
Dave.
at 1, Anthony?
I did put Peyton at 1. Solely because of the Colts performance, not because of the Broncos one.
Ready?
I mean, he lost to
in
the Colts too,
terms-
so
He what?
he lost as a Colt too.
To the Saints, yes. Okay, yes. But he won one with the Colts too.
This is only about winners, Melo. Winning Super Bowls. All right, I'm nervous now. Me and Timmy
not
are number
nervous.
2.
Sorry, I'm not nervous. I feel good. I feel
Oh
Joe
my
Flacco.
God.
Hey there.
No,
I have no problem with that.
So
I'm glad
Melo,
I
that's
threw
your
Peyton.
one.
I'm glad I threw Peyton right in there at 1 then.
Yep, I'm perfectly fine with my list. So to recap, Steve and Tim, Peyton 1, Flacco 2, Big Ben 3, Len Dawson 4, and Rippon 5. Dave, Flacco 1, Big Ben 2, Peyton Manning 3, Ben Rippon 4, Len Dawson 5. I have Peyton Manning 1, Ben Roethlisberger 2, Joe Flacco 3, Len Dawson 4, Ben Rippon 5.
Nice.
Wait,
Nice
it's a
list there, bud.
50-50 with Peyton. Come on now. 3 is a good spot for him in the Super Bowl.
But the question wasn't greatest quarterback performances. It was greatest Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. And so
I'm
it's
taking
easy
into
that
account
he's
the
won.
games he was in there. Yeah, he's also
Do we
I am too.
do we want to go one more round? One more
One
round.
more
he's
round.
also a Super
We
Bowl
have to go at
loser.
least one more.
We always got to do 2. Always got to do it to at least 2.
Okay. So I feel like Anthony, I think you had a good list there. Solid.
I'm very happy with my list.
If I get Russell
Very
Wilson,
happy
I'm
with
putting
it.
him at 6. So you know.
All
right, let's do it. Round 2. Spin that.
Yo, DJ, spin that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Unitas.
No,
Roger
Staubach.
No. 5, because he's a fucking Cowboy.
He's a Cowboy.
5.
Exactly.
5.
I'll go
Below
4.
Namath.
That's right.
I'm gonna go 4.
5.
I was thinking about going 3.
I know. So
There's still a lot of good guys out there.
Yeah.
You could argue that the list that we took out 2 of the worst ones already.
I think Staubach's a good quarterback, but I refuse to give him anything.
I'm gonna stick with
if Troy
4.
Aikman's next, he's getting a 4.
I'm gonna stick with 4.
You got a 4. Yeah.
This is the list where Tim ends up with Namath 1.
Yeah, that's fine. if I got Cowboys at the bottom, I'll take it.
What happens if we get Trent Dilfer?
Oh, that's a good one.
And we got everybody's for that one?
Brad Johnson.
Yeah. Me, you, and Dave all had 4. Tim had 5.
Okay. All good. All right, next up.
I can't wait till we can add Brock Purdy to this list.
What year is that happening? Oh.
Evening.
This poor guy. Poor guy had his leg. Just
every Redskin quarterback a one-hit wonder. That's the worst part about it. Let's put this poor bastard at 3. He was
give me 3.
He was good until LT decided to rip his leg off his body.
Theismann across the board at 3. Across the board at 3.
All right. I feel like that's a rarity.
I mean, it's been shown it's not LT, it's the field.
Yeah,
of course. LT would never do something like that.
Drew Brees.
I don't want to put him at 2.
I'm taking a risk. Do I gamble my 1, or I just throw Drew Brees in there just for the hell of it?
I got him at 2.
Safe. That's the risk. And the safe play is to put him at 1, but then you risk.
Well, I still got my 5 open, so I'm okay.
Yeah. So
I might just throw whoever this next one is at 1, just in case.
I'm going to go 2.
Dose.
Me too, Timmy. I'm following along with you.
Theismann and Brees both across the board rankings 2 and 3.
Wow.
Theismann 3, Brees 2.
God, we're gonna get Brad Johnson and Troy.
Don't send that out into the universe, Melo.
I would really like for this one to be a good quarterback, just so that it makes my life a little easier.
I want 2 bad guys.
I can do. I don't think he was that great, but I'm going to put him at 1.
Oh my gosh, he's 5.
I'm putting him at 5. Full confidence.
Oh, are we gambling? You know what?
We're gambling, baby.
I'm in for the gamble.
Baby.
Put him at 4 for me.
So I win by default if this is Joe Namath. If this is Joe Namath, I win by default.
What do we got left?
Joe Namath. I'm Joe Namath 100%.
The left. There's a ton.
Come on.
Joe All Montana. 3 of you have 1. I have 5.
Joe Montana.
Tom Brady.
That's it. Either one, baby. Let's go, Either baby. One. Either one.
I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with my rankings.
Listen, yeah, that was either going to Eli or Aaron Rodgers, and I was comfortable with both of them heading up the list.
Yeah, and they were.
You want to do one more?
And it made Anthony happy. It made Anthony happy that he was at 5 on his list.
No,
yes. I think we should.
Honestly, I would not. I would never put Aaron actually at 5.
One more.
I'm not sure that there are 5 quarterbacks all time I would take over Aaron Rodgers.
It's getting harder now. One more. It's going to get harder. One more.
This is going to be a tough one here. Here we go. Listen, but there's still some monster names. You got
There's some
Eli,
really
you
good
got
names.
Brady, you got Mahomes. Why am I looking at that screen when I
Montana,
have it right
Nick
here?
Foles.
Montana.
Kurt Warner,
Nick Foles.
Favarer,
Fervor beans.
Favre.
Fervor beans.
Boom. Let's do it.
Dave's
Spin
boy
that
Russ,
motherfucker.
Danger Russ.
Mr. Unlimited. Oh, Barstow.
Archer.
Oh,
Fur.
Pop him right in.
Five
Four?
is bad.
Yeah.
Stir goes to Fur.
You're going 4? 4 for Timmy.
yeah, I'm going 4 also. Dave,
Yeah, I'll
4?
go 4.
All right. Let's do it. Sweep.
It's 4 across the board.
And there's some.
I was so
fours
hoping
in
for
this-
Mahomes on that one. Get the one out of the way.
Oh.
We're really going to get every non-amazing quarterback's name here.
I'm greedy.
5 for Timmy.
He deserves to be 5, but we're getting too low here with names, and Brad Johnson and Joe Namath and Trent Dilfer are all still there.
I know.
I'm gambling. I'm gambling.
I'll do 3.
Wait.
You'll do 3?
Yeah.
I'm also doing 3.
I'm gambling, baby. Why not?
So Steve, you're either going to be like Tim and I, or you're going to be like, or Dave and I, or you're going to be like Tim. It's up to you. I mean, technically, you could put him in other places if you want. You could put him 1 or 2. I'm just saying.
Giddy.
I'm going 5.
Oh boy.
No. I'm going 3. I'm going 3. Final. I'm going 3. I got scared.
It's up there.
I'll be alone, baby.
He looked down and saw Namath, Dilfer, Brad Johnson. He's like, fuck, Nick Foles. He's like, oh god.
But you also got Warner, Elway, Brady, Eli,
Jeff Hostetler.
Mahomes, Jeff Hostetler.
Ken Stabler.
Ken Stabler. Hey, Ken Stabler. That's not awful. Oh, dangerous.
Limited.
Dangerous.
Whatever my lowest one remaining, it's him.
2. I think that's what I have open, right? 2.
Yeah.
6,
I'm going 2 as well.
7.
I have 1, 2, and 5.
Correct.
It's not Russell Westbrook. Just to
Thanks.
clarify.
Let's go 2. I hate with a passion to have 1 and 5 left. I'm just saying that.
It's a
Too
weird
fucking
spot to be in. I'm
extreme.
not gonna lie.
I got 1 and 2 left. I'm in a lot of trouble, but hey,
That's
I
rough
took a
too.
gamble. I took a gamble. I'm ready.
I feel like the perfect spot to be in, if it lands legitimate, is like a 1 and a 3 or a 3 and a 5. You're getting that spacing going. You've already got your 1 spot locked away or 5 spot.
give me a Montana so I can put him at number 1. Then I'm happy. I don't care what happens at number 2.
Oh,
Give me
Oh,
Brady.
I thought we were gonna
Give me
go
Brady.
for-
Give me Brady.
All right.
Number
All right,
1.
there it is.
He's gonna be 1 across the board, I assume.
Yeah.
I assume.
Dave's going 5.
Okay.
Yes,
Steve,
you're
that was 1, right, Steve?
Yes.
Okay. So now we all get Joe Namath at 5 while Tim has him at 2.
Hey, let's go.
Here we
Eli.
go.
Eli.
No, I don't want Eli at 5. We can't have that.
Eli's at 2. I'll take Phil Simms at 2. Give me Phil Simms at 2. Love
All
it.
right.
Love my list.
I got Phil Simms at number 5.
I'm not gonna lie.
Traitor.
So I think each of these probably had a clear-cut winner. No, I take that back. I think the first
None of
game
them
and
were
the
me.
third game. No, definitely not. No, the second one you could. The second one. So the second one, the only difference between yours, and you and Dave had the same list on the second one, and the only difference between your guys' list and Tim's is that Tim had Unitas at 4, and you guys had him at 5, and you guys had Staubach at 4, and Tim had him at 5. So that's kind of like I'm not. That's picking
Negligible.
straws.
Could be a wash.
I think Tim clearly wins the third game though. Brady,
Let's hear the
Sims,
list.
Russ, Starr, Greasy. I think that's probably the right order of those 5.
That's magic, Timmy.
Yeah, I think Tim hit the nail on the head.
That's the gambling one. See, when you don't think too hard, it's easier.
You don't mush it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then, Ann, I think you got the first one, right?
Peyton, Big Ben, Flacco, Len Dawson, Brett Rippon. I feel really good about that one.
So you had that one, Timmy had the last one, and then we had a 3-way tie for the.
Yeah, I would say everybody but me won the second game.
All right. There's our game for the day. I enjoyed it. We love the wheel here. We're big fans of the wheel. All right, let's close this bad boy out here at 2:25. Not in the morning.
Not in the morning.
I think I don't know what time I set the am I on the air to start? I want to say it's on now. It's on now. It's
I don't know what that means.
Movies stuff. Am I on the air is a podcast on the Pop Culture Pros Network. It's a it's an audio only. It's our only audio only show. Man's been doing it for a long time now.
One of the cats has been putting its arm under the door and grabbing stuff the entire time we've been recording, and it's been freaking me the hell out. That's why I keep turning around and looking back here. I'm trying to catch the paw and I can't catch it. It's driving me crazy.
Are you sure it's the cat?
I'm not, but I'm pretty sure, but I'm not 100% sure.
You should.
It's got to be the fucking cat. It's driving
Otherwise,
me insane.
something crazy going on. All right, let's go round robin here as we get up on out of here. Timmy, we start off with you, sir.
Anthony, I think it's the fucking Babadook, whatever the hell that thing is called.
Babadook.
Yeah. No matter what my picks are, I picked with my head, but my heart. Let's go fucking Texans. Let's go Bills. Let's go Lions. Let's go Packers. I'm looking forward to a good weekend. And hopefully the Rangers can come back tonight because they're getting their asses whooped by Vegas tonight so far.
What score?
I switched it because it was fucking driving me nuts. It was 2-0. Start of the second.
Okay. Oh,
check.
When Raul said it was 1-0.
Raul can shut up. It's 4-0 Vegas. 4-0 Vegas.
Still a whole period to go.
I'm shutting that off.
Shut it off, Timmy. Stop it. Stop the madness. All right, Melo, what you got on the way out here?
Nothing much. Hope for a good weekend of football. Next week, Royal Rumble. And something that I found interesting today, I always like to say something fun, and I know I'm on a major delay right now, if you guys could even hear me.
You're good.
Is that UM has a 9th-year tight end that is eligible. 9 years. I think I saw. I think it was a stat that showed. Still eligible. I'm sorry. I saw a stat that his high school class, the people who graduated, was Jalen Hurts, all these guys that have been in the NFL already. And I'm like, Jesus! And this guy's on his 9th year at the University of Miami.
That's dedication.
Is he Tommy Boy?
Van Wilder?
9 years. It's a long time to be eligible.
It's a long time to party.
In college. That's a lot of partying.
Hey, Rudy was 30 in Notre Dame.
True.
He was fucking 30
That's
years
old. Ant, what you got here?
No matter what happens this weekend, there are 2 things that we should be excited about and rooting for. We should be excited about the fact that the AFC title game is going to feature 2 of these 4 quarterbacks: Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and CJ Stroud. That's going to be phenomenal. And on the NFC side, we should all be praying for a Packers-Lions NFC title game. Thank you. Have a good night.
The disgust that came across Melo's face.
Go Lions.
All right. See a game that we've already seen twice this season.
And the third one might be the best one of all.
That's true. You never know.
Jordan Love versus the fighting Dan Campbells. Who's not getting excited for that game?
A division
NFC
rival
North.
to go to the Super Bowl? Oh my god!
And you keep the NFC title game out
There
of
will
San
be
Jose.
blood.
How great is that?
Anthony's
Who Usher's performing right the Super Bowl this year? Usher.
Sure.
Let me
I
tell
won't
you
watch
something.
it, so I don't know.
Let me tell you something. Lions making the Super Bowl. Eminem's gonna fucking smack that guy off the stage. You're out. You're out. I'm in. He's gonna perform his greatest hits, and that's
It doesn't
It's
matter
over.
that I was here with Dr. Dre like 4 years ago. I'm coming
Doesn't
back.
matter.
Yeah,
I'm
screw
back.
it.
Him and Kid Rock are
Screw
gonna
it, baby.
fucking and Axel Foley and the makers of Ford. They're all gonna blow the doors off that
And
place.
Miguel Cabrera.
And Barry Sanders making a
There you
special
go.
guest
Barry
appearance.
Sanders.
He's too crazy.
And Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford's going to come
Calvin
back
Johnson.
and be like, go Lions. Megatron.
Someone on Twitter said that if the Lions make the Super Bowl, Barry Sanders should be allowed to sign a 1-day contract so he's on the active roster for the Super Bowl with Detroit.
Oh
Who
my
else is
god!
there?
All right. So just real quick on the way out here, several contests and giveaways up on the site right now. We got Lisa Frankenstein right now just from Miami, but I think we're gonna get some more cities early next week. We have a contest up for Argyle up in Florida, down here, Miami, Aventura. Is it Aventura? Might be South Miami this time, Melo. Tampa and Orlando. Boston also up for Argyle. And Miami is the only city that we've gotten the underdogs for. Of course, that is with Mr. Snoop Dogg himself. Amazon Prime Video deal there. So it's January. So we talked about this week after week. It's it's a slow build. We also have in the final days. What was the last Trolls movie, Mello? Band Together. Trolls Band Together. Digital code contest is still up. It's going to run for the next 2 days, and then winners will get their code starting on Saturday.
Ooh, I got to go for the code.
Yeah,
There's
I need
that.
link.
Need that link.
Need
I
that
get
link.
more than links at.
I
Where
need
them
code.
links at?
Hello, Jerry
All right.
Bruckheimer from Detroit. Francis Ford Coppola from Detroit. They're all going to be there.
Francis Ford Coppola is from Detroit? Really?
I'm looking it up right now.
I have to.
Who
Wait
else?
a second.
Oh, I can't wait for
Wait a
Baker to
second.
just ruin.
Hello,
Everyone's
J.K.
heart.
Simmons. J.K. Simmons from Detroit.
Whoa, really?
Whoa, J.K. Simmons. I like
That's
that.
that's a get.
This isn't even Michigan. This is just Detroit. I'm looking at.
Wow.
Madonna.
Francis Ford Coppola is from Detroit. That's insane.
Madonna?
Diana Ross. Her and Eminem.
Big
Madonna's
Sean?
from
Halftime. Yep.
Did
Tim
you just say
Allen.
Big Sean.
I did say Big
Tim
Sean.
Allen, convicted cocaine
Tim Allen.
trafficker.
Tom
Lily
fucking
Tomlin.
Selleck. Tom Selleck.
Casey Kasem.
There you go.
Who knows who
Hold
Casey
on.
Kasem is?
I
These two-
have to look
they don't-
up
I
this.
know who
They don't
Casey Kasem is.
Okay.
Used to listen to him
All right.
all the time on Sundays.
He's
All
still
right.
on.
Okay.
It's frightening to hear him
What?
still on.
What do you mean?
He's on satellite. They play his shows from the matching day. So like if you September 23rd.
Oh.
Today's what? Today's what? The 15th. What else today?
18th.
18.
So they'll play shows from January 18th, 1982. So it's like
Oh, really?
it matches
That's
the day.
dope.
Oh yeah, they always play it. I got
That's
a
pretty
letter
cool.
from Samantha, and she writes.
Long distance dedication.
And she writes, "Dear Casey."
And our thoughts are with you as we head into your song.
Exactly.
I've had the time of our life. All right. Well, that's a lot of people from Detroit. I didn't know it was from Detroit. That's a lot of. Madonna.
Sonny
mean-
Bono.
What I can't even think of what, like, if you ask me where Madonna's from, I wouldn't even be able to think of it. Like, not even like a made up. Where would Madonna be from? Not Detroit.
I would have said New York.
Yeah.
SNL legend Tim Meadows.
Lucille Ball.
Wow.
Hello.
Tom Sizemore. Tom Sizemore.
This list
Elizabeth
is growing
Berkley.
here, guys. Who's from
All
Tampa?
you guys are naming are
Bruce Campbell.
John
Fucking
Cena.
nobody.
Bruce Campbell.
no.
That's it. It's over.
Oh, no, Titus O'Neil, Hulk Hogan.
Robin Williams.
The Hulk. Wait, Robin Williams is from where?
Detroit.
Oh, that's
80s
it.
movie
all up.
aficionado
Mellow.
John Hughes.
Mello.
This
Come
sounds
on.
like
Robin
this
Williams.
This sounds like kayfabe already. People are just like billing
send you the
themselves from
list.
Detroit.
Demi,
Who
okay,
would
here,
randomly bill
listen.
themselves from Detroit? Think what you just said. Think about what you just said.
Ed McMahon.
I have some representatives from Tampa that would like to be heard. I got one, Terry Bollea. I got Derek Brooks.
Terry Bollea
from
lives in
Tampa.
Clearwater. Get out of here.
Titus
Demi
O'Neil?
Lovato.
Hey,
Demi Lovato's there.
She's
Ray
back.
Charles. He doesn't know what the city looks like, but he's there. He's from there. Dick
Alice
Vitale.
Cooper. Stevie Wonder. Alice Cooper.
Wait,
Those are
that's
Detroit, by the way.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie,
we're
Steve.
battling
As
it.
you name names, I just think you're building the lead more for Detroit at this point.
I think so too. Tony Dungy. What else can I say?
Yeah, Detroit by a landslide.
Chad Channing. Nirvana. That's got to say something. He's at, and then of course, the biggest name ever to come out of Tampa, Dave Bautista.
Hey,
listen,
celebrity.
Melo. I tried, but that list on that other side from Detroit.
I'm telling. I said I feel like it's all kayfabe. It's just people like wanting to say they're from Detroit,
Chris
so they
Webber.
think that they had hard times, but they really didn't have hard times. They're from
Chris
like
Webber.
Topeka,
Keegan-Michael
Washington.
Ooh,
Sauce Gardner. One of the new
From
guys.
Detroit.
Yep.
wow.
Can't wait
Melo,
for
this
them
is
to get
rough.
older.
Tampa's not look. But Tampa's.
Former Giants linebacker Pepper Johnson.
Hey, where would you rather live, Detroit or Tampa?
Well,
I'd
hey,
rather
did you
do-
see the picture of
I'd
Baker
rather live in
Mayfield?
Tampa.
Have you been to Tampa recently?
I wouldn't set foot in
Anything?
Detroit.
I'm pretty sure it's better than Detroit anytime in period.
I don't know. Motown started there.
Bob Seger.
Kirk Gibson. DJ
Fuck that guy.
LeMahieu.
Kirk Gibson, fuck him.
This is an incredibly
John
long
Smoltz.
list of people.
John Smoltz.
John Smoltz is from Detroit.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Well, Melo, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Hard times.
We've leaned heavily towards Detroit here.
Wait, is Tim gonna read his thing?
Oh, I forgot about it.
What thing?
Oh,
you
you're
weren't there,
not
Melo.
ready for this.
Timmy wrote a little something.
I wrote a little something.
Let me get
I don't have my glasses. I usually channel it from the glasses. But I wrote it, Dave. I wrote a promo as Dusty Rhodes for the Eagles and the Cowboys
Oh,
because they went through hard times this weekend, baby. So let me tell you something, Daddy. The Eagles and the Cowboys, they're talking big, strutting around like they own the place. But let me tell you something about hard times. Hard times is watching them birds get knocked out of the sky. Cowboys getting rustled up and sent packing in the wind. That's right, brother. You heard me. You see, the Eagles been flying high, talking about how they're going to soar above the rest. But when they came down to it, they've been crash landing, Daddy. Ooh-wee. And then them Cowboys, they've been riding tall, talking about America's team. But all I see is a bunch of cowposts getting tossed and thrown around like a rag doll, Daddy. Woo! That's all I got so far. I didn't get the right. I didn't get the
Holy fuck, that was amazing.
That's fantastic.
Incredible.
That's all we had. Oh no, I had
What
one more.
are the podcast awards called? Tim just won us an award for that.
Oh no, wait.
you gotta
I had
put the marker.
I had one last part.
I did.
I had one last part.
Oh.
It says, oh yeah, I wrote this. So all the let me start over. So to all the Eagles and Cowboys fans out there, I just gotta say, maybe it's time you eat a little bit of humble pie. And remember, the next time you game is here, you gotta walk the walk if you're gonna talk the talk, Daddy. Woo! That's it.
Oh
Fantastic,
man, that was
Timmy.
incredible.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
It
Well
took me
done,
4
well
days.
done, sir.
It took me 4 days, but okay.
It's worth it. Worth every second.
Yes.
And what better way to close out the show this week than on that? Enjoy football this week and enjoy basketball leading up into Friday night basketball over the weekend. Hopefully we get some movement in the rest of the world of baseball when it comes to pitchers and catchers are about to report in less than a month and still got some big
Oh yeah, we should
raises
talk
out
about
there.
that. How the Yankees are not doing anything. It's like, real quick, a Cy
Show me.
Young
They got one
Award winner. A Cy Young Award winner says, "I want to play for the Yankees," and they're staying put.
Oh, you're talking
Fire
to Snell. Yeah.
Snell. He wants to play for them.
Yeah.
Fucking sign him if he wants to play for him. That makes no sense. Whatever. I'm done.
I'd have to agree with you on that. But overall in baseball, it's been outside of the
Boring. It's been boring.
Yamamoto and Soto. It's been relatively boring. I mean, this free agent class was really top heavy. When you think about it, and then Ant will get into some NHL stuff starting maybe next week. And then we'll
All-Star game is going to come up soon.
All-Star game, the trade deadline is coming up for NBA, so a lot of stuff still going on, and then Melo is just gonna up and leave right in the middle of it all here pretty soon.
He's gonna see the Lions win a Super Bowl, and he's just gonna be like, "I can't take it. I'm gone.
I'm going out to sea. I'm going out to fucking sea. I can't take this."
That would be the worst thing that would ever. That would be a horrible going away present.
How could you say that?
He'd be on the boat. He'd be on the boat for 3 months just thinking about the Lions. It'd drive him crazy.
He wants Baker to win this thing, so Baker could be on that boat partying on a cruise out there.
Baker brings a Lombardi to the ship. Oh my goodness!
No, he'll one up Brady. He'll have a life raft down there, and he'll toss the trophy down there. Remember Brady tossed it over the water?
Yeah, Brady can make that throw. Baker can't. It'll go right into the water. It'll go right into the water.
He can make the throw. He doesn't have anyone to catch it like Brady had. He had Gronk catching it. Exactly. He's going to throw it to Otto.
Doesn't he have the same exact receivers?
Mike Evans.
This is the same exact receivers Brady had when they won a Super Bowl.
Mike Evans drops things.
Not when they hit his hands.
He doesn't have Gronk on his team.
Oh yeah, because he was fucking great that year.
Listen, the show's over.
30
folks.
passes that year.
We will talk to you all next week, right here on Pop Culture Pros. Peace out, everybody.